Hiya, my name's Nick. Welcome to the Bear's Paws. What can I get you? Hello. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you let me know? Botrix has correctly joined the channel. Oh, and it's showing up on the actual screen. So one thing's working, but another thing isn't. Mandy, you are here. I am here. If you have a look in the top corner, apparently the Spotify jukeboxy thing isn't, though, unfortunately. Don't know what's happened with that. I will have to look into that at a later date. But for the time being, nothing is playing. Although Prefab Sprouts are currently playing. Esther, how you doing? Loud and clear. Good to hear. Good to hear. That's put me off. That has put me off. I'm used to seeing it in the corner, and now it's not. Now it's not there. I could, I suppose. No, I couldn't. I'm not pressing buttons. It's too late for that shite. I'm having one of them days. I know I say this every single time I stream, but I'm having one of them days. Just took my shoes off. There you go. I'm shattered. Shatterdy, tiredy. I'm not feeling 100%. And I had to drop Jess off at work this morning, come home and install a new router. Apparently the phone lines have been replaced by BT, and they've sent us a new router to work with the new phone lines. So ginger's crossed. It might be a bit more stable. I doubt it, but it might be a bit more stable. But it means I'm absolutely knackered, and I was on the phones at work earlier. I haven't had my little nap that sometimes I need. Looks leathery. It does a bit, doesn't it? It's not like it's I think it's pleather, if anything. But I don't mind it. I quite like it. Also, it's one of them. It's to take your hat off, a doff your cap to people kind of hat. I don't mind that. I think I need more like this, don't I? Proper hats. Yes, it's me who looks leathery. I look leathery and old now. Das ist für Oktoberfest, ja, sicher. Yeah. And other things. What now? It is, I don't mind it. I had a look at the steampunk hats, because they look quite nice, but I think possibly, and I might be wrong here, with the goggles being on the top, normally have goggles on, don't they? With a massive light coming from that side and a smaller light coming from that side, it might blind the camera. So I might have to look into it a bit more. Lederhosen to match, not a chance. No lederhosen, no kilt. No income tax, no VAT. Santa hat for December. It's red and white. Fuck right off. Not a chance. Unless it's FC20 red, of course. They're playing tonight, aren't they? I should keep an eye on that, really. Shouldn't I? I should. Let's have a look. BBC football scores. Let's have a look what the Bobby Moore is. Stow no. Good. Barcelona are playing as well. Shit, I forgot about that. Bar humbug. What you can get a blue Santa hat. You can get a blue Santa outfit. Because every year in Liverpool they have the Santa Dash for charity. And to make Evertonians feel at home and to show which team you support, they wouldn't wear red and white, so they do blue and white ones as well now. So you see red and blue Santas screaming around Liverpool, raising money for kiddly peeps, which would be nice. I might get a blue one then if that's the case. But bar humbug, yeah, Christmas is shit. and so say all of us. Ajax colours. I can't wear Ajax colours either. You know, Ainson took it, I'll take it and took it. It's my top petrol green. It is petrol green. Actual petrol green. Petrol green, look at it. It's a really, really nice colour in person as well, this. Plus, I love how it's come out, apart from the fact that it's absolutely ridiculously crickety. I look like a cricketer. I am in the crease. I've run round like an idiot for the last half hour or so trying to get ready for this. You all ready for this? Oh, yeah. And it's warm. It wasn't earlier. I was feeling a bit cold. I'd done my walk in the house on the treadmill rather than going out because it was horrible. There was hailstones and all kinds. But I've hit my target. Which is nice. I've not eaten yet, though. It looks bottle green to you. It is slightly, it's more sort of bottley petrol green. Really nice colour. But it is, if it's actually properly ironed, it gives off a really good sheen, a good shade. I like it. I think I might need to order more stuff, mightn't I, off my own merch store. I haven't got the 8 mile radius shirt yet. Where is everybody? Steve's on holiday, more of which to follow later. He is. Steve and Helen and Ruby Roo are looking fantastic. They seem to be in a very, very nice part of the UK at the moment. I am only, about that jealous. Maybe at some point I'll be able to go somewhere like that myself as well. I was looking into vans, vans that have been rigged out to be campers, so I could drive somewhere and just, even if it was for a few hours, relax, chill, and then drive back. That wouldn't be bad. Yeah, more holiday vids. We have more holiday vids. Again, part of the reason why I was rushing around like an absolute dickbag was because I was trying to sort that out. These videos are fairly big. Even when rendered, they're fairly big. So to make sure that they're on there and on there correctly, it takes a while to upload them. And once they're uploaded, it's fine. But I think I might have found a way of doing it off my phone. I do the editing on videos like that on my phone, and I can use that, the little portable hard drive, little tiny thing. I've found a way of doing it now. And if I can do that, put it onto that, I can then just plug this directly into the computer. Not been able to manage it with a thumb drive. Where are they? Can't plug one of them in. But that particular little hard drive is a USB-C, which I can plug directly into my phone, which is nice. So I should be able to speed things like that up at some point. What else? Ali should be here. You had a convo with her on YouTube. No worries. She'll turn up when she turns up. Jinxie having a birthday end of September, if you recall correctly. It is. It's next week. I've got stuff written down somewhere. Tuesday, I think. Tuesday. I'll need to go through my pad. Calendar. Shooty list. Be in car and sorty outy lists. Hopefully I have now got 2 videos worth of stuff that I can possibly record this week if I'm not feeling bad. I mentioned it earlier on Twitter. I've had a headache today and I can't get headaches anymore. For someone who had headaches when I was young, pretty much all my adult life, just occasionally, I'd have a headache. I can't get them anymore. When I get them now, the pit of my stomach drops out from underneath me because I'm just reminded straight away of what happened when I had the stroke. So it's horrible. It's not just a headache, it's another potential 2 months in hospital. SDO's the 3rd. Tuesday is her sister's. Tuesday is also my dad's birthday. Today is my niece's birthday, she's 20. My dad's birthday's on the 1st, which is Tuesday, yep. And I've got to take him to Aintree, to the hospital again. Hopefully, I think this might be the last time he has to go, which was to get the results of where we went to yesterday. I had to take him yesterday as well. Laz, how you doing, bud? How's things? You okay? So hopefully that'll be it. He's been going to go and see the doctor on a daily basis like he needs to. But I think we might be coming towards the end of that now, which is nice. Yeah, so, bollocky. New router, which means completely different router, different password. This is plugged in via a wire, so that should be alright. I have changed everything, including the lighting, which is all done on my phone. I've changed two of my phones have been changed. I have 4 plus a work phone. I haven't changed any of the laptops. I have 3 laptops as well. I also have an iPad that hasn't been changed. I've done all the Sky boxes. What else have I done? I haven't done my PlayStation yet, my PS5. So, yeah. Just a change of router, dead simple. Took me about 2 hours this morning trying to sort shit out. Making sure everybody was covered. Everyone else's phones have been done. Another one, not been done. That definitely needs to be done because I do that. I use that all the time. That particular laptop. That's me decent laptop. Well, they're all decent. So that's the most decent. Too much tech, you are telling me. But everything allegedly is charged up and working okay, so hopefully we'll be sound. Keep thinking I'm missing something. I am. It's that. It's not there, man. Drowned by tech. Not bad. Got you on the PC as you potter around. Oh, very nice. I think all men, once they reach a certain age, should potter around. Doesn't matter what they're doing. Whether it's in a shed with plants, which I think is where it originally comes from, wasn't it? Pot plants, pottering around. But everyone should, once you reach 38, I'm going to use that as an arbitrary figure, 38 onwards, we should be allowed to potter to our heart's content. I've got as much tech as you have plastic, I have. It's only when you see it all out as well that you realise. How many? 4 cameras. Well, I've got more than that, haven't I? Because I've got the 2 GoPros and an Osmo Pocket 3. As well as the other proper cameras. Ridiculous. I've not been able to get out. I wanted to film earlier. But I've not been feeling up to it whatsoever. And it's been raining. And it's pitch black. And it now looks dry. Funland closes at 7 o'clock in Southport and it's all lit up. So it's getting dark. But that's all. It's the blue hour. All that's lit up outside. Looks amazing during the hour dusk. I need to go and do a little bit of filming there at that point. Looks great. I'm gonna do that. As Jed is my witness, I will do that. Not so smart or it sort itself out. Nobody can sort anything out apart from me, apparently. Always, no matter what happens, can you sort that out for me? My dad got a new phone. I had to sort that out for him. Order it, make sure it was okay. When it come in, can you sort this out for me? Okay. What did you do? I followed the on-screen instructions and did exactly what it told me to do. And I fixed it all. Oh, cheers for that. You could have done this. Kirsty, how you doing? No wonder I keep the curtains closed. Nobody needs to walk past here and see an absolutely massive soft box. Otherwise, they're going to look in and see an absolute soft twat as well, aren't they? It's weird. My daughter was here yesterday. This area has changed slightly since she was last here. She looked at me and went, "You're into this, aren't you?" So I'd rather be into this than being into the wine, so... You know what I mean? Oh, and she took some stuff with her as well yesterday, Jess. I am now one of these light. One of them light. Oh, he's just... Now his mask's just come off. One of them light. Sort that bloody mask out. I will sort that out. And a big plain potato light as well. What else did she take? She took something else as well. But I was in here all the time with her, so she couldn't steal any records. Not that she could have hidden them, you know what I mean? I could see her eyeing up my record collection with ill intent. Wyatt Prosecco battered catfish popcorn all person to. Inside dogging, yeah. That's, I think there's a different name for that, isn't there? With the curtains open, that's definitely, there's got to be a different name for that. Found your way out of the rabbit hole, just. Still in one, but in a different one. You keep finding these rabbit holes to go down. I think it's superb as well. I love watching that. Anything where you think to yourself, I would never have even considered putting that into a search bar, it's worth watching. Ali, how you doing? Should have sewn the masks to the spuds, but you wanted them detachable. They do have a tendency to ping off, but if you keep on top of them, they're alright, the sound. Just occasionally need to tighten it up slightly. Push the mask back down slightly. But the sound. Quick press sufism guest Josh Woodman. Hidden Zwickau popcorn. Never been to Zwickau. I've been to Munster. I like Munster. I was only talking about that the other day. Funnily enough, when we lived in Cockleman Landing in Enschede, we lived about a mile, kilometre and a half mile away from the German border. When we moved to Vicherlanden, we were even closer to the German border. So much so that my dad would go for a run. And the route that he took was Netherlands, Germany, Netherlands, Germany, Netherlands, Germany. And there was a big clearing in the woods, which was half in Netherlands, half in Germany. Obviously, there was no one there checking passports. But they had weights made out of logs, big wooden logs with metal bars in there that you could use to, and all kinds of stuff like that. It's amazing. Just in the middle of the woods. So they must have been expecting people to just nip back and forwards. It was boss. Ali, late for your shift. Which means you are on the... got to do a video on Venice before you go. You will have to get yourself warmed up and in the mood to go as well. I've got friends, Dutch friends actually, who are of Italian origin, who I think the family come from Venice, so they're back there quite regularly. The eyes are only glued on, etc. So if Steve gave one to Ruby, it's safer without the mask. Good thinking. I think Jess might end up taking at least one of them into the nursery at some point. So you never know. Ninja potatoes could be the next big thing. The next big thing. It's your excuse anyway. You don't need an excuse. Jess was blown away by the workmanship, to be honest. So that's over now. Border control in Germany is back. Mad. Well, it used to be, well, you can't control the entire border. So where we were, Llanybrook was just down the road, and that was where, if you had to pop into Germany in the car, they might give you a cursory glance, or most of the time it'd just be, go on, go on, go on. They weren't Irish, go on, go on, go on, but just off you go. Just remember that you've got to do it, you've got to do it. Also, Venice, of course, when you go there, get yourself a Venetian mask, which will fit in very well with your overall aesthetic as well. They like all that stuff, don't they, for the balls. The balls. They just have masked balls there. What's your poison, everyone? I am on the tea. No beer today because I'm not feeling overly brilliant, so I've not even been out, I've not eaten, nothing yet. Yet. If I'm feeling hungry later, I might mosey on down to Tesco before it closes, but I doubt it. Yeah, the potatoes are absolutely superb. One of the eyes are choking hazards. She'll know that anyway, that they're pretty well up on stuff like that when they're dealing with kids. Probably overly alert to things like that, but I'll give her a warning. I'll see her in the morning. 8 o'clock in the pissing morning. Just got to set my alarm now, actually. Alarm set for 10 hours and 37 minutes from now. For fuck's sake. When you read that, it's horrific, isn't it? Pissing rain there all day, same here as well, plus a little bit of hail. But I was indoors on the treadmill, so balls to it. It's in the buch. Put it in the buch. Prosecco for Esther. Prosecco, very nice. No rain in that day, London there, as far as you know. Mind you, London is huge, so it possibly could be absolutely biblical pissing down in one part and dries a bone in the other. Bucket, Mandy, in case you're thirsty. Bucket. Jess got a geode as well, she has. I had to warn her about that last night. So I'll go home and do that. No, you will not, because I'm not getting a phone call 2 o'clock in the morning. Dad, can you take me to the hospital? I've lost my thumb. Not a chance of happening. I also give her a canvas bag to put it in so it doesn't splinter everywhere. And then said, ask your ma to sort her out with you. So I'll ask her tomorrow, see if she's done it. Slangy, yeah. Glass of cold Coke or a cocktail of your choice. Very nice. Can't go wrong with that. Cannot go wrong. The weather app keeps saying it's raining. It might do. And as soon as you step out the front door, it's completely bone dry, but over the road, genuinely pissing down. There was a respite from the rain this afternoon, but not for long. When it rains in the northwest of England and North Wales and Ireland for that matter, and bloody hell, the whole of the northern UK and Irish islands, when it rains, doesn't bloody stop. It is mad, just because of all that warm, moist air coming up from the Gulf Stream. Hits the cold polar air coming from the pole, and we get loads of rain. It's maddy things. You wouldn't know much about cocktails. Put a few alcohols in and see what happens. That's how cocktails originate from. People pissing about, literally pissing about. London's definitely a big place. It might explain why you got lost with Spencer. It is easy to get lost in your hometown. Nobody knows the hometown inside out unless they're a taxi driver or a driving instructor or something like that. Or a busy, of course. But even then, you'll stumble across things that you've got no idea about. London especially is massive. I can imagine things like Mexico City and Tokyo and places. How could you possibly know all of it? You can't. They are vast. Vast with a capital F. Vast, fucking vast. Joey, how you doing, bud? Cheers to everyone, even those from Louisiana. Ali, the barmaid / chemistry teacher. Knows it all. Knows it all. Yep. Can't say it didn't give him a genuine tourist experience. Everyone who goes to London gets lost at some point. Absolutely. Black cabs, they know it. Well, obviously they have to, don't they? They have to do the knowledge. I seen something on that years ago. Was that on That's Life or something? Where he spoke to a fella who was doing the knowledge and showed you how in depth it was. Blew my mind. And it's worth having a look into. I am sure that anyone that does the knowledge, their brains end up actually bigger than the average. That's how much information they take in. Google it. I'm not making that up. I'm genuinely... I think I heard it. Might have heard it. Sure I did. True. There you go. Yeah, absolutely true. One of those weird programs that I tend to watch at 2 o'clock in the morning. It was on one of them. Jump on the tube and get back to somewhere you recognise. That's one of the good things about living at the seaside or by the riverside. So if you're in Liverpool, it's not a massive city centre. It's a fairly big city, but the city centre's not overly big. If you get lost, head downwards. That way you'll get to the river. Then you can turn around, look back up and see where you're supposed to be going. Piece of pish. There's a few videos on that. The brains are definitely bigger. I thought they were. I'm fascinated by stuff like that. There was a series about the brain. Just went into absolutely every aspect of it. And one of the main things they were talking about was how you can be more creative. I've mentioned this before, haven't I? By doing something that doesn't take much thought. Jay Alto did a video on something very similar today. I think it was actually. When you're going for a walk, just going for a walk with no headphones in, not on your phone, you can become far more creative because you don't need to think about walking too much. It's a natural thing. And then the brain needs to get away from the boredom, so it comes up with stuff. And you'll come up with video ideas or things to do later on. And that was the one where I saw someone had a big bag of Lego. And on one table, he was getting people to make things out of it. And then on another one, he was getting them to sort it into red bricks, yellow bricks, blue ones. The people that were doing that, just sorting it, were so much more creative when he was asking questions, because they were doing something that they could do almost on autopilot, and the brain was then coming up with all kinds of other mad things. Brilliant. The brain is a fascinating thing. And we don't know even a sliver about it yet, really, do we? Considering. It's mad. All set for your ollie-bops. Getting there. Anywhere from Steve-O. Yes, and Helen and Ruby Roo. Keep an eye out. You may see them at some point soon. There's Tom out there. Will he be watching the footy? There's footy on tonight, isn't it? Where's my scores? Where's my scores gone, man? I put that on earlier on, now it's disappeared, hasn't it? Where are you? Still 0-0 for Man United versus FC Twente. Flint Town have equalised against Carnarvon, no so. Barca winning 1-0 against Getafe. Nice. Very nice. The shite are playing West Ham in the League Cup as well. Not interested. Mandy, you need something to stop your brain from coming up with stuff. You do, and you know what that means? The more brain intense things that you are doing, whether it's a complex knitting pattern or whatever else you could be doing, that takes away from your brain having space and capacity to just go off doing random shite. I know myself. when I go for my walk, same thing. I go for my walk. I don't put headphones in. I just go for it. I just occasionally look around to see if there's any photo opportunities. Occasionally there'd be a really nice photo. That's all I'm doing. That's a little bit of creativity's there, but then I come up with ideas for things when I'm on my walk. But I mix that creativity and my brain being open to ideas. That then has to be tempered by the fact that I am as thick as shit nowadays because my brain's gone. My memory's absolutely disappeared. But, you know, it does gets you going, man. Walking on a treadmill with a notepad or a diary nearby and a pen. Be sound. Two teas, of course, for Lads and Sparkles. 2 teas. Footy tomorrow for you, Esther. Ajax playing tomorrow, are they? I haven't even seen the fixtures. We are at home on Saturday though, so there will be football streams on Saturday. Man, you are creative, you really are. I think anybody needs a creative outlet. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's crafting, music, writing, creating videos. Doesn't matter what it is. Just to get things out of your system and leave more space for new things to come in. It's good. What's a knitting pattern? Man, they've got the freeform jazz approach to knitting. No idea what I'm playing. I don't know what key it's in. By the end of it, I've knitted a crotchless scarf or something. Brilliant. That's what you need. And if you see something interesting, you might walk over to see what it is, but your town is small, so it's no bother for you to get back. That's it. Again, it's a nice thing to do that. If you're in a small town, everyone knows each other, which can be a bit of a pain in the arse, but everywhere's easy to get to, and there should be plenty of allies to look after you. Going from a big city, or big city, Joey's here. We're talking about a big city, Liverpool. 1 million people is not really big, is it, on the global thing? Going from Liverpool, which had 1 million people, to Southport, which has got under 100,000 people. I couldn't get over the fact that if I went out for a pint with my mates on a Friday night, by the time I got back home, my mum and dad knew exactly where I'd been, who I'd been with, what I'd been drinking, what I put on the jukebox. So I could not get my head around it at all. Whereas in Liverpool, you can just wander around. Nobody knows who you are. That's bollocks as well. Everyone knows who you are, but no one's looking. Louise, how you doing? You can't wear earbuds when you're walking, or you end up doing the walking to the dance floor dance. Very Peter Kay. Walking to dance floor dance. What's that all about? That's the problem as well with earbuds. If you listen to music while you're walking, you walk to the pace of what you're listening to, which can be brilliant if you want to get a sweat on, but it can also be very dangerous. You either walk too bloody slow if you're listening to the Orb's third album, or too fast and end up falling bass over apex. Mandy, you can't walk and drink at the same time, therefore one of them has to go. And it's not going to be drinking. Bye-bye walkies. Dance like nobody's watching, walk like nobody's dancing, watch like nobody's, I don't know. You should do anyway. All this thing about dance like nobody's watching, and again, go back to YouTube on this. I watch lots of things about creating content and what have you. There's quite a few where it tells you how to not be self-conscious when you're recording outdoors and things like that. Nobody gives a fuck at all, genuinely. And if they see you doing that with a camera, the only thing you'll normally get is, oh, what's that you're using? What are you filming? Oh, I'm doing it. I've got a YouTube channel. I'm just doing a little bit of filming here. Oh, okay. What's the name of your channel? I'll have a look out for that. That's about it. That's all you get. People are so used to, especially with FaceTime, you can't go anywhere nowadays without someone FaceTiming. Supermarket FaceTiming, driving FaceTiming. People are so used to it now, so it's no big deal, is it? No biggity. Beer, please, barkeep. Do you want to flirt with that, love? Run like Phoebe. I can't stand Friends, but I must admit that was funny. She was my favourite out of that because she is the weirdest. I always like the weird ones. Best way to not be self-conscious is to turn your brain off. And that does work, genuinely. Mine exploded. I would never ever have appeared on camera. I wouldn't like people taking pictures of me. Now I don't give a shite. That part of my brain must have been around there somewhere, and it's took collateral damage. Yeah, Ali, telling other people to dance like nobody's watching. You'll be the one sat in the corner. But the reason why you're sat in the corner out the way is because you're probably doing a job, aren't you? Don't leave any witnesses. Get in, get the job done, get out. Leave no witnesses. SAS style. Kirsty, you don't dance, you're too self-conscious. No. Trying to break that. Do you know, live streaming will help you do that. You will get to the point, if you're not there already, where you think, this is no big deal. Just talking, being myself. Nobody cares. You might get the occasional nasty comment in the chat section, but that'll be from us anyway, won't it? So it's no big deal. No one cares. There's far too many, or too much important shit going on in the world to really care about someone dancing or holding the camera in front of themselves. So don't worry about that. More pictures, the better, definitely. Only dance if there's chicks dancing with you, or to get chicks to dance with you. The weed must help, otherwise there wouldn't have been people dancing all through the 60s, would there? Come on, let's face it. Joe, you've been streaming for 5.5 years now. It's second nature. I've only been doing this for just over a year, and it's crazy how quickly it becomes just a thing that you do, and you don't really worry about it. The live stream, the sunset live stream the other week, just people wandering past me, didn't give a shit. Used to it, just chat. If they want to stop and have a listen, they can stop and have a listen. If they want to appear in front of camera, Sam, go and stand over there. You're being shot, and I'll talk to you live. I'm not asked. That's boss. I like it. It's brought me out my shell. I was never in my shell. Nice girl, Michelle. No, I was when I was a kid, but I pretended to be brave and rugged and what have you, to the point where I just didn't give a shit. But appearing on camera was a massive step. Because when you're stoned, you read. That's. You get the literary munchies. Mad how it affects other people, doesn't it? The people from the 60s wouldn't last 10 seconds on today's way. I wouldn't have thought so either. It was very plain back then, wasn't it? Very plain stuff. Whereas it's now absolutely pharmaceutical, chemically mad stuff. Going live does seem to help to a degree. It does. You put yourself out there, and after a while, you see that it's not scary. People are nice. 99% of people are nice and supportive in the chat, because they know plenty of people wouldn't have the balls to go and do it. You doing that yourself, sitting there and chatting away. So, well, I'm not brave enough, so I'm not going to go there and start commenting on something that I wouldn't be brave enough to do myself. If I do comment, it'll be with support. It's nice. And it depends on your mood. You either dance all night or not at all. All or nothing at all. That's fair enough. Right, so you read them unless you get distracted. And Joe, you get distracted by boobs and sometimes a sweet caboose. Don't we all? Don't we all? Still in your shell, Kirsty. You're not in your shell. You're half in, half out. That's what it is. But you're getting there, aren't you? You spoke about streaming and didn't do it for a while. Then you started speaking about it and doing it. Now you just do it. So that step to that step to that step. Next thing you know, you'll be live streaming from all over the world. If the music is good, you dance. Can't help yourself. But the key to not getting the munchies is to get so high you won't get up. And then you don't keep food. Just don't keep food around you. If you take away your legs, you don't get the opportunity to get up and get food. Good thinking. Going live for the first few times is scary. It's once you've done it though, it's out the way. Your first stream is done. You're no longer someone who hasn't streamed before. You're in there, like swimwear. Yeah, you kept on with it. You got through your first couple, you got on with it, and you keep on doing it. So they're in the past. You look back like I do now. Look back a year ago. I'm looking at the Ninja Potato live streams. Things have changed so much because you end up getting used to it. Become more comfortable in what you're doing, more comfortable in what you need to do to prepare for it live, what you need to do when you're on it. With me, I get more comfortable in pushing buttons and what have you, and with throwing lights behind me. Just, that's it. It's repetitions. Keep on doing it and you get better each time. Be more bouncy. People like bouncy, they do, don't they? Bouncy like the audience at a Ramones gig. Defo. Pogo. Everyone likes a good pogo. Get comfortable undergarments. That's another one, yep. Vital if you're live streaming as well. Yes, we are there for you, Kirsty. Unless it's a stupid o'clock. Some will make it, some won't, but the 2 or 3 o'clock in the mornings, maybe about 10-15 years ago I'd have been up for them, but not anymore. I am collapsed at that point. And he's doing the okey cokey and shaking it all about. That's what it's all about. Planning on doing that when you're in Venice. But it'll be one that's more like my live. Since you won't have the laptop. Do you know what? That's all you need. That is genuinely all you need. Go live from the YouTube app. And just show people where you are. It's dead simple, dead straightforward. And like you've seen with some of the ones I've done, like the sunset streams are brilliant because people just want to chill in the chat and look at something nice. And if you can't find something nice to look at while you're chatting in bloody Venice, where else are you going to do it? But the whole time that you're there, if you're on a gondola, live streaming, do the lot, man. It'll be great. You can't stay up if there are boobs in the room, otherwise you're getting weary at 9 or 10. Oh, Kirsty.
It's going up, 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 it's there.
27. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. Definitely very true. It is. Anywhere that you go to, even places that don't sound interesting, your hometown doesn't sound interesting to most people. Well, it's just where I live. Yeah, but there's other people around the world who don't live in your hometown who would be very, very interested to see what it looks like. I say I take Liverpool for granted because I'm from there. But when I speak to people, I've got friends in America. Old Susan from Las Vegas, her and her husband are obsessed with Britain in general, 60s British music. She is absolutely obsessed with the Beatles. So for me, if I'm going into work at 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm walking up Matthew Street, I take a couple of pictures and just say, right, I'm on my way into work. I'm going past the cavern where the Beatles played, and it blows their mind. It's just, I got off the bus over there and I'm walking here to get to my building. I have to walk past the cavern. It's no big deal. It is to other people. And so at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, there's 300 Japanese tourists all taking pictures because they come halfway around the bloody world. It's a big deal to them as well. So just show people where you are, whether it's your hometown or if you're on holiday. Just let people know. Let them into your life. This is where I am now. Smack it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh no. Ali, can you ask a question? You can always ask a question. Liverpool is the home of the airport named after John Lennon. It is. And if you go to Liverpool Airport, Liverpool John Lennon has a big sign saying above us only sky, which I think is a great thing to have at an airport. It also has the yellow submarine outside John Lennon Airport. Liverpool used to be called Speke Airport because it's in Speke. Then they renamed it. And if you're going to rename it after a son of the city, I think John Lennon's going to be the one you're going to do, isn't it? What happened to the jukebox? Oh, you weren't here to begin with, were you? Something's happened. It's supposed to be on the screen, and it is playing. Tiger Lily Gold is currently playing at the moment, but for some reason it's not coming up. The little program thing that I use which drags it from Spotify is not on there at the moment. So I might have to build in a little bit of latency and have a window capture in case, just for the next time. I've already got an extra chat in there just in case. So why not an extra Spotify? Is it karaoke? Karaoke. The place where the Beatles played in Cleveland in '64 was torn down. There's a new stadium now there. You work a block north of that, but south. It's weird. The real cavern where the Beatles first played in Liverpool, the famous one, was filled in. It's a cellar bar, or cellar, not a bar. It's a huge area, but it was filled in with rubble and concrete to make way for the underground stations in Liverpool. No one thought in the 70s or 80s the Beatles might be a good source of income in terms of people flocking to the city to see places like that. So they had to reopen it. One section of the cavern is now still completely filled in, but they opened another section and there's people there constantly. But why rip down things of such huge significance? In Cleveland, I suppose, if you needed a new stadium, you needed a new stadium. Yeah, you can ask, you might not get an answer, it depends on the question. Absolutely. I reserve the right to ignore you completely. If you ask a question, it's going to be about doing it or boobs. They will get answered, definitely. We're all supposed to sing. We're all supposed to join in. And also, those programmes are not supposed to be shit. That's what they're supposed to be. Decent programmes that will throw things on your screen. I will go back and check why it's not working. I might have to log into it again. Actually, that might be why it is. I've had to log into a couple of things today and Google has asked me permission to use it. I don't know if Google's starting to get a little bit pissy about permissions. And for that to appear on the screen, it has to have Google's permission to be on there. It's probably that, isn't it? That'll be what it is. Knobhead. So it was east or west. Which one? Blonde? It was, yes. Funnily enough, it actually was, yeah. What's on now? CNC Music Factory, Gonna Make You Sweat. Let you clear your throat before we sing. Get on it, get on it. Was the leader of Liverpool Council back then an American? I think it was someone that was taking a few quid. That seems to be the thing over there. You can smash history if you feel like it, as long as someone gets paid. Next. Piggly Ding next. Who's working next? Who's next behind the bar? Some people think there were 6 Beatles. There were only 4. 4 at a time. Some unfortunate Beatles as well. In fact, there's probably about 8 in total, wasn't it, that played at some point. At some point. Jinxie, you are on, fair enough. Jinxie is on and we are piggly dinging. We are piggly dinging. There's stuff missing. Why is there stuff missing? There's too much stuff missing. This simply isn't good enough. Kirsty, you're confused and you're not stoned. Maybe that's the reason why. If you're a little bit more toasted, it all makes sense. The Beatles will reunite in hologram version with AI. Absolutely 100%. If ABBA could do it, the Beatles will do it as well. Whatever this money, this will be made. Oasis are back as well, for those who didn't hear the news. My daughter was going sick over that because she never got a ticket. And I'm pissed off that I can't use my left hand at the moment, because I'd love to be able to show her some of the songs that she's struggling with at the moment, because they're really, really easy. Well, if Noel Gallagher can play them, she can. He's never really done anything that's difficult, to be honest. If you've been playing for any length of time at all Oasis songs are easy. You think so? Definitely think so. I think so, yeah. Noel needs the money. He does. He's going through a divorce, isn't he? His 15th divorce this week. It was always going to be they will only get back together if one of them gets a huge tax bill, a divorce bill, or the offer was just too good to turn down. Or all three. I wouldn't mind going to see them, but missing out isn't going to be a big deal, if you know what I mean. Because it's going to be a pain in the arse, isn't it? It's going to be full of just knobheads with shit haircuts, wearing Adidas strabs, watching the gig like that. How was the gig? Oh, it was great. I've got a sore neck because I spent all fucking day doing that. Gobshite. 50 million plus and you'd do Oasis. Yes, sure to be a how to play any song on the Tube of You. There is, and I explained to my daughter how lucky she was. And then she told me that I was talking shit. Because when I was learning songs, I had to pick up the needle off the record and put it back and listen to it again, or press rewind on a tape and keep on doing it until I got there. She can just put a video on and learn how to play it. And then she said, but doing that has probably taught you how to play guitar better, because you've had to learn how to listen and how to work it out for yourself. And she's right. So, yeah, she is probably right. I learned loads through having to listen and trying to pick up. There's a note there that I can't quite work out what it is. I'll keep on going over and over again, work it out in my head. Never been keen on Oasis? No. A lot of people aren't. I've said this before and I've said it out loud. You can believe, like I do, that Oasis are good and and also at the same time hugely overrated. They're a good band, but also massively overrated. We needed them at the time. Everything was dance oriented. There was no working class guitar music, and the likes of them came along and smashed the doors down, so you get more old school rock, if you want to call it that, into the building. So it was needed at that time. But again, also absolutely hugely overrated. Esther, going to put me on the telly because the lasagna is ready. Oh, very nice. Enjoy. I'm already on Ali's telly. It was great until today. Autumn arrived. It's cold and the rain has arrived in Northern Ireland at north. Otherwise, you're good. Ah. Well, you do live in Ireland, so of course it's going to be cold and wet. It always is. Normal or veggie lasagna. I quite like veggie lasagna. Piss and rain all day in Southern Ireland as well, or Southern Ireland. Way better, you can see all sorts. Not been eating all sorts. She needs Rick Beato's ear training guide. She does. Or work it out for yourself. That's how I learned. To the point where you can just listen now and sort of work it out. And then once you pick the guitar up, you know where to look first. Look for the root note on the bass. Try and work out. Normally you can tell, can't you? Major or minor. You can tell if there's a 7th in there, or a 9th, or a 11th, or 13th, or a suspended note. Just then working out which is which, isn't it? Easy enough. You got no interest in going to an Oasis concert. I've just spoken to them. They said they got no interest in going to see you work either. So there. A lot of people don't. A lot of people do, which is why they're going to make an absolute fortune from it. But choruses for choruses. If I could go, I'd go. Now that I can't, I'm not asked. I'd rather watch Radiohead or The Smile. I want to go and see Tom York live at least once. And I'm gutted that I missed out on Kristen Hirsch. She played, I think it was the Philharmonic in Liverpool, which would have been lovely. Fantastic venue, that. Acoustic. If she comes back, I'll have to go and see her. Drag the child with me. It appears you're going to get heavy rain. Of course you are. Northern bloody Ireland. It rains indoors in Ireland. Coldplay are also very overrated, they are. I have got issues with them that go beyond the music as well, though. As I've mentioned before, Chris Martin deserves a slap, not just for calling his kid Apple, but also for those twatty t-shirts with the stupid little fucking sleeve on them. Bell end. Life's good, work life, not so much. But hey, you'll live, Louise, you will. Life's good. Life's always good. Even if it's bad, it's still good. It's the best we've got, isn't it? Well, you don't eat beef, but you like a veggie lasagna. Veggie lasagna sometimes tastes quite clean, I think, compared to some of the beef ones, or horse ones, depending on where you buy them from. It's got a nice clean taste to it. Did you eat chicken, Mandy? Did you eat chicken? Rained all day yesterday, miserable weather. It will do, Mandy, you live in fucking Wales. If anyone's from Scotland as well, it will rain because you're in fucking Scotland. Manchester as well. Laz, it'll rain in Manchester because you're in fucking Manchester. These things happen. That's why the country looks lovely and green, because it rains all the time. It helps. It's good for us. And you don't eat it, but you've had people who can't cook it. If you have something bad, you don't want to go back to it. Jinxie, you're going to say something really irritating to Mandy now. Ooh, go on. Fight. You're not a vegetarian, you just don't like cow meat. I'm not a huge amount of red meaty type of guy. I'm not overly keen on eating loads of meat at the moment. I still can't find something I actually like eating regularly. Apart from the poke bowls. Poke bowls in Tesco are nice. The chicken and rice. Chicken, lad. It's why Wales is so green. Exactly, same as Ireland. Same as most of bloody England as well. If you fly over it, you can see how green it is because it rains constantly. It's lovely. I like lasagna. It's good stuff. Jess is feeling a little bit better today, she went. Kev, how you doing, bud? Footy on, of course. Your team versus mine. I very nearly wore my FC20 shirt tonight. But I didn't. I thought, I'll be sound. Goedenavond. Not enough rain in London anymore. We need rainy nights in London because it sounds like a good blues song, doesn't it? Doesn't rain all the time. I've seen your sunset pics. We have, but it does rain all the time. Fact. They built all cotton mills in North because of damp weather. Absolutely 100% true. I know that because you told us that recently, didn't you? I didn't realise that was the reason why, but it makes absolutely 100% sense. Don't let it dry out. Or catch fire. Obviously. Obviously. That is a nice cup of tea, that. Got rain there if we need some. Het regent in Nederland. Het regent. AI song on raining in London. There you go. That's your next one. I've got an 8-mile radius one to do, which I started last week, but the AI versions that they come up with was shit. So I've given it a few more days and I'm going to try again later, I think. Senility setting in and repeating yourself. No, it's not repeating yourself. You're just telling us because there's a different audience now. I like learning things. So even if you do repeat yourself, say it anyway, because someone else might not have heard it, might not know the reason behind it. And then one day they could be at a pub quiz, and that could be the tie-break question that wins them an island. I don't know. Can you win islands on pub quizzes? Been listening to punk music all day. Let's smash stuff up, Jeff. I thought Jeff was a full-on punk anyway. Are you inciting vandalism? Can you put Jeff on the naughty step? You're braver than me. If you go and try it, see if you can put him on the naughty step. Yeah, don't worry. Every time I say that's a nice cup of tea. Because it's always a nice cup of tea, that's why. It could change, it could be shite, but no, it's nice. It's a nice cup of tea. Twinings Ale Grey, if you're interested. Thermos, still not sponsored. You pack of wankers. Every week you get a shout out. These are fantastic though. Get yourself one. If they're on offer, they're 20 quid, but they're worth every penny. Kirsty, you repeat yourself often. You said that before. Cup of tea to Ali. Helen. The Norfolk correspondent doing remarkable work in the field, literally, which you will see very, very soon. Steve is fast asleep on the sofa, snoring. I am not surprised. Been out in the fresh air, bracing sea air. Easily done. No copy pasta, thank you very much. Jinx, you're on your way to test a new toilet seat. Good luck with that, good luck. Thought I was going to sneeze there. I didn't. Which is a start. Yes. TMI, Jacqueline, TMI. Sent a vid in store. Watch this space. As in, very, very soon. Casper, how you doing, bud? You okay? Having a lovely holes. It looks fantastic, Helen. Really does. In fact, it looks that good that I think what we should do is have a look now. What do you think? Shall we have a look? If anyone wants to get the dancing gorilla shoes on, now would be a very, very good time.
To run the dog on. This is the most famous castle up on the Northumberland coast. Stunning cricket ground next to it.
Oop.
Fingers.
I'm not professional. I'm just a correspondent.
Very true. Car park's heaving.
It's heathen, so it is. But no filth.
Ali.
Jinxie.
Jinxie's more like that. Dr. Ian Pearsley. Sorry, Jackie. In that far along the coast, in some ways, this part is very similar to what me and Nick really know of our hometowns or our home coastlines. Really, it's very sand dune-y.
Sand dune.
And similar to sort of the Southport area and what we would sort of class as what we call the Poppy Line area, more between where we live and Great Yarmouth, where it's coming in. The land is just washing away every time there's a high tide, and shame really.
Anyway.
We'll just keep recording. Oh no, because we've got to go see houses yet, haven't we?
Yes.
Alright, just a short one.
I'll stop him rambling. Bye. Here's the North Sea, and it's still blue. See, there's no truth in it that it's grey. And there's the Farne Islands in the distance, out of my window. Lots of walkers. And this is the town of Sea Houses. And there's a little harbour.
In a quarter of a mile, enter the roundabout and take the second exit onto Main Street.
Thank you. This is just chip shops and amusements. It's horrible, really. It's a beautiful little place, and it's just chip shops and amusements.
And crazy golf.
Crazy golf.
Crazy. This is where we could get the road rage from Stibburn.
No, not for me.
No, he's chilled.
Take the second exit now.
How many chip shops can you count? 1, 2, 3.
In 1/10 of a mile, enter the roundabout and take the first exit.
Will you hold your clack?
What, me or the sat nav?
Both.
Laters.
Beadnell Bay. It's the best morning I had all week. It's been a bit sunny, bright, and about now clouding over again. But another lovely little cove. Beadnell Castle. Castles everywhere. Sand dunes. And then right in the distance, that is Dunstan Castle, the other side of Embleton Bay, which is just the other side of this bit of land. Ellie's making new friends, and Ruby. I'd love to be down there, but my knees just don't take it, guys. So I'll film it all for you to watch. Laters.
Well, there you go. How good was that? Bambury Castle was looking superb, by the way. Absolutely gorgeous. It looks absolutely lovely up there, doesn't it? I didn't realise they had so many castles in that one area as well. I think absolutely incredible. Fabulous stuff. Steve talks to the sat-nav, so do I, and I feel sorry for her because she seems a nice girl and I give her all kinds of abuse. Filthy language. But it's a lovely place for a break, and that is literally what it is as well. A break from what you're doing, get away, reset, start from scratch. Everyone needs that, I think, now and then. That looks a really good place to do it as well. A sand dune in your car is also a sort of sandcastle. It is. I brought quite a bit of Ainsdale Beach back with me last week. In my shoes, I've got a pair of trainees that are ready for the bin, which I've just left in the back of the car now. So whenever I go to the beach, I'll put them on. I don't care about them getting wrecked. Yep, stunning. You have to be looking after your mum's house and animals till Sunday. She and a friend always go to Skagen, northernmost town in Denmark, for a 4-day weekend. Another friend's house. Oh, very, very nice. Once a year. Very nice. Yep. Fantastic camerawoman is our Helen. When I say she's doing remarkable work in the field, you can see it for yourself there. Helen's got the S-kills to pay the B-ills. You know what I'm talking about? But it's lovely. I love the seaside. British seaside just doesn't get the recognition, not reputation. It doesn't get the recognition it deserves, and it should do. Lovely beaches, fantastic scenery, castles bloody everywhere. Just lying round, thousands of years worth of history under our feet, and people just don't even bother looking at it. We should do more often. Yeah, must be knackered Helen running in the field behind Rubes. Definitely. It's like Norfolk but with more hills. The whole east coast looks lovely. It's a pity that some of it is falling off into the sea as well. Parts of Scarborough and places around there are just disappeared, and there's nothing you can do about it by the look of it. When the theme tune come on, the sleeping Steve, that his back legs start going like he was chasing rabbits. Like Pavlov's dog when the song goes off. Gotta get up and have a boogie. It is. All the videos that we've seen, it looks absolutely stunning, doesn't it? Never mind Thermos. Why aren't British tourism supporting this particular channel? We're doing work for them here, man. Do like to be beside the seaside. We do. I live by the seaside, beside the sea. The only issue I've got with living beside the seaside, beside the sea, is the amount of hardcore dogging that goes on, obviously. And the fact now that sunset is about 11:20 in the morning or something now, isn't it? Is it down to about 7 o'clock or something, 7 o'clock at night? I'm normally still working when that's happening. Look, 9:15, obviously it's pitch black. It has been for ages, but not too long ago, the sun was still blazing through the window at that point. Those dunes and general landscape remind you of when you visit family out west. Northern Europe, there's loads of places in Northern Europe that look very, very similar, because we're all part of the same sort of landmass originally, aren't we? Great. Boss tune it is. Yeah, nice cup of tea, feet up, chill. Dancing shoes on. Loads of castles as well. There is. I mean, Northern Ireland, there's castles there, isn't there? Castles all around the whole of Ireland. Wales has got them by the bucketful. Northern England does as well. People don't really talk about Northern England. Northumberland has got hundreds, if not thousands, of the bloody things. I think I might need a new chair. My chair's going knackered. Lovely walking beside the sea and hearing the waves gently lapping on the shore. Oh, it is. It really is. And you must have seen when I'm streaming from the car park at Southport, you can't see the sea because it's just too far out. Literally just a couple of miles down that direction, further down the coast, the sea comes in. Ainsdale. But actually a bit of Birkdale does as well, but Ainsdale, when I was there, the sound of the sea just in the middle distance, because it was still the sea, but the tide was out, but it comes in, it's lovely. Very relaxing sound. Sad lamps out. I've got a massive sad lamp, the bloody size of this thing here. 7 o'clock now, it sets. Same here, it's horrible. He woke up and started snoring again. They're playing my tune. I'm too knackered to dance. Back to it. There's a castle in the town you live in. Why haven't we seen it? Wales has the most in the UK, you think? More than likely. It's crazy. Just the... What's it called? Is it the Coast Road? North Wales Coast Road? The amount that you have to go past just to get from one place to another is insane. Any wonder with my arse on it? I'm a skelf. It just gets used a lot. Thank you very much, Jinxie. Bear Castle. If you want to Google it, we will Google it, definitely. Yeah, loads of similar places. Western Denmark, Eastern England, Netherlands, Belgium and West Germany. The whole area was connected, it still is. The eastern side of England and Scotland, I would have thought, is still connected to the Netherlands and Belgium. It's just underneath the sea. And the North Sea's not overly deep. It's just filled in a wee gap, hasn't it? Otherwise we would still be connected. You've seen it looks lovely, Bear Castle. The weather's met, of course. Hang on. Bear Castle, Domain. What? That looks boss. I like that. There you go. From the front. That's a proper castle. You lucky sod. The nearest one to me, the nearest castle to me is the Harlech Castle, which is a pub on County Road. More in common than different. We have indeed. It's a very, very similar place. Kirsty, you haven't been to the beach in years. Well, you're in the middle of a massive metropolitan city, aren't you? Not as easy for you to get to the beach from there. Whereas I live next to the bloody thing and haven't been myself for ages until last week. Once connected by Doggerland. We're still connected by Doggerland now. There's a video of the outer castle wall, but not of the castle. We will have to check these things. The area under the sea is called Doggerbank. It is. Piggly Ding next. Doggerbank. Doggerbank's a completely different thing. Doggerbank and Doggerland are real. They are. Doggerland is now in your head, where it lives rent-free. That's the world's largest telescope. What? Louise, you've only got a little castle near you. We're not as big on fighting round here. Just share a bag of chips instead. What castle is it that's near you? I can't think of any up near there. Bloody castles are there nearby? I think for me the nearest castles have got to be North Wales. Got to be, haven't they? Possibly it's a Flint Castle. Is that the nearest one? I think might be. Let's go to Brent Cross Shopping Centre to their beach. Outside, indoors. That's a massive place as well, isn't it, Brent Cross? There's a beach at the shopping centre. It has to be. Skipton Castle. Ah, right. I didn't realise there was one there, to be honest. How do I not know these things? Oh, bloody hell. What? You weren't joking, were you? I would say that's a bloody castle. With a proper entrance. I've seen that before, actually. I did not realise that was Skipton Castle. I've seen that on something. What? Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Do you go though, Louise? Do you go? Do you visit it? Or is it just something that's there and you know it's there? That's about it, really. No clue why there's a shopping centre in the middle of London. London does have a beach. The Thames, there's beachy stuff on Thames. A lot of interesting archaeology could be done in the whole area, I would have thought so. Between us, between all these countries, we have massive history. Lots of which will have been at sea. So things will be under there, under the sand. Oh, outside the shopping centre, not inside. So you can get outside on the sand and get piss wet through like we can. Angie, how you doing? You okay? Man, these are little beaches. I've got a picture somewhere of Homer Simpson drawn into the sand outside the Globe. There's a little beach outside the Globe Theatre. Look down. It's there. It's there. A book has just been written by an archaeologist about the Doggerland and all the finds. Ooh, we will have to find that out. Jackie, absolutely 100%. Some of the stuff that gets found will tie all of Europe together because we have such a shared history. Last time you went, you felt right at home in the kitchens. By the time you left, were the kitchens painted blue, though? That's what we need to know, Louise. Were they painted blue? Petrol blue, or whatever it was called. Alio has sent the video. Oh, hang on. Proper walls, them, aren't they? What That is fantastic. I love that. Proper old schoolies. For those, you've got to go to East London. The very small and mostly mud, and the sandy one is somewhere near the mouths of the river. The one that was on the south bank near the Globe was pretty sandy. Not far from the Oxo building. It was nice. Yeah, Ali, you must live in an old place. It looks proper old, doesn't it? That's like proper ancient castle. Your video skills are meh. Just need to work hard at it. Get a video crew to come over and follow you around. Your dad painted the Great Hall, Louise. He just shouted that because he hung his painting on an antique set of antlers. Oh, I would have loved to have seen that. What do you think you're doing? The wall. Off. Proper. I don't tell you what to do with your suit of armour. You don't tell me what to do with me paint pot, and I'm pissed off. Lovely stuff. Very nice. It's good that you've been as well. Not just, it's there and I don't need to go in because I know it's there. Go in and actually have a look. An ancient place, a heritage town. Lovely. We have got fantastic heritage in our countries, haven't we? I'm lumping in Ireland with the UK here because we're all the same landmass, but Ireland, Scotland, Wales, England, we've all got that lovely history. 40 different castles or so. Coldinghus is near you, and you've been in there so many times you can't even count it. Good to go in. Don't just let it be there and go past it, or see it from the car when you're on the bypass going past it. Go and have a look. Spend time there. These things won't always be around. I know they've been around for thousands of years, but everything tends to entropy, doesn't it? Could have been worse. Could have dropped a chandelier and a bollock at the same time. There's some beavers in the Thames. Are they wet beavers? Got a double Frankie for that one. Proper beavers in the Thames. You know that you've got, well, the Thames used to be an absolute pit, didn't it? The Mersey did as well. Just absolutely horrific, the amount of stuff that was pumped into them. And it's starting to get pumped back into them as well now. All of a sudden they got cleaned up because of the European Clean Water Act. When you start seeing animals coming back into the waterways, you know it's a good sign. We had loads of jellyfish in the Mersey, dolphins, porpoises, octopi, so you know you're doing well. And then bit by bit over the last 2 decades or so, they've allowed them to start putting poisons back into the water and killing them off. It's horrible. One of your favourite comedy moments. It is fantastic, isn't it, Jackie? Classic comedy moment. Only fools do that quite well. Wouldn't put it past him. You know, I love stuff like that, man. Thought the Thames was a shithole. It is now. Because they're allowing water companies to just pour whatever they want back into it. Which, for a long time, they were not allowed to. Which is why it became a really, really nice, healthy waterway. Not anymore, though. Not anymore. Who's next, anyway? As you know, Moira Slot. Not too far from the dam. Connie, you've got a pain in your head from rugby training. What? Careful, man. You know, I was pretty proud of the video project you helped make for your sister when she was in 6th grade. It was on the castle's history. We did an extensive tour of halls and dungeons. She got a really good grade on it. Oh, fantastic. Lovely stuff. A few months ago, there was a pod of dolphins in the Thames at Canary Wharf. They're not allowed to put as much human shite into that part of the river. You have to go further upwards now, don't you? Towards Henley and places like that, you know. Proper beavers, full on ones. Chunky beavers. Yeah, I love seeing places and seeing the history. Just reminded me of something there. I was in school in the Netherlands and we had to do, as sort of the way we would do over there in English class. Over there, it was I think it was Taal structure of language. We had to do a project where you had to write to an embassy somewhere to find information about their country. And I thought, being a smart bastard, I can't do the English one because they'll have a go at me. I can write to the Irish embassy, the Republic of Ireland embassy, And I wrote a letter to them saying I'm doing a thing for school. I need to write about another country. Is there any chance you could send me some information? And they sent me back. It looked like a telephone directory, what they sent back. Just they must have filled every single spare pamphlet they had. And loads of information. And I did a really good project on Ireland in the Netherlands. Because it was in English, obviously. Work smart, not hard. But it was brilliant. And I was made up with the fact that they could have just said, no, sorry. Or not even wrote back at all, but they sent as much information as they could. Good on you, you Irish folks, good on you. Loved it. I think I might have got one of the top grades for that one as well. I was also top of the class when it come to the Dutch language, bizarrely. Although saying that in our language, in our class, there was people who were Dutch, but there were also, there was a Bangladeshi girl who'd lived there since she was 2, and a Polish lad called Mike the Pole. That wasn't his name. There's people from loads of different places, but I was the latest one. I was only 9 when I moved there. Canary Wharf rings a bell. That's where the huge building is. The massive building. All the big buildings are there. Big Canary Wharf. The Thingy's there as well, isn't it? The Gherkin. I've been in the NatWest Tower, or used to be the NatWest Tower, next door to it. We're above the Gherkin, which is a weird place to be. Having a lot of problems with green and blue algae in Loch Ness. It's in a terrible state. These things are such an amazing thing that we have in our countries. I think I've said before, haven't I? There's about 225 chalk streams in the world, and 95% of them are in the south of England, and they are being killed one by one because water companies are pouring raw sewage into them. Why would you do that? You're absolutely ruining an ecosystem which is almost unique to this one country. Just, it's money, isn't it? Always Dwayne Eddy's fuckers. It's in the heart of the capital. It is the financial centre. You've got the Shard over the road on the south bank, the walkie-talkie, the Gherkin, all those big buildings, and then one Canary Wharf, which is the big building. The biggest one in Yoke is there as well. Smart ass all my life then. Yes, absolutely. I was in the top set for everything. Schoolwork was too easy, so I didn't try, which is something I now am deeply embarrassed and ashamed about. And I could have had a much easier life if I'd have worked harder. But I didn't, because it's too easy, man. Just where's my guitar? Plus, I'm naturally gifted when it comes to languages. Sorry, but I am. Yeah, kind of look after yourself. If it starts getting worse, tell someone. Make sure you do. Esther, you were there in the 90s. Guess it's totally changed. I think it might have been there at some point in the 90s, but yeah, it's fairly... The area itself is fairly new. You probably wouldn't recognise it. Tal stuck to it. Same kind of language, isn't it? If you feel sick, go and tell someone. Tal stuck to it. Very, very similar. It is the structure of language, literally. So with us, we had Tal and then Tal structure, so it was language and the structure of language, or grammar, I suppose it would be, wouldn't it? But there's something within language that just tickles that part of my brain that works well. I've got a natural gift or a natural propensity for languages. I can pick them up easily. I can normally pick up accents very easily as well. I'm quite a good mimic normally. I can do impressions of people. I can do almost any accent you want me to and get away with it. Just because something in there is talented at it. Or was, until explodey brain, obviously. I've lost a bit of it now, but some people are really good at that. Some people are absolutely brilliant at building walls, or I've got something wrong in the house I can't fix. Oh, just give us a screwdriver and a roll of tape and I'll fix it for you. People are just so fantastic at doing that. I can't do any of that work, but I'm really good at language. Nurse Ali giving out the advice, she is. Our sister of mercy. Except Welsh. I could say Bore da. I was only there for 4 years. Otherwise, I'd probably be able to speak fluent Welsh now as well. But Welsh and Irish, I'm still convinced, are a piss take that you shower of Celtic bastards are sticking together to have a go at us English. That's what it is. They don't even exist as languages. It's just you lot having a piss take. Ll. How can you have something that's got 28 letters in it and there's only 2 vowels in the entire thing? And it means hat. Fuck. What? Bloody Welsh coming over here. Stealing our consonants. It's because it makes no sense. I learned the other languages before I'd properly learnt Welsh. And once you learn the likes of Dutch, German, Spanish and English, they make sense. Welsh and Gaelic, either Irish or Scottish Gaelic, don't make any sense. It's just a completely different rule. Probably the same as Swedish. Is it Swedish or Norwegian? One of those is slightly odd as well. Finnish is as well, isn't it? It's not like your normal Germanic languages. It's a little bit more free-form jazz. How's your gardening? Joe nuts have vanished. They have well and truly vanished, as have some of the tea bags as well. Fun thing you thought about today, Casper. Night with a pronounced K sounds like Nate in Danish, which means a young male. Maybe that's what it is. Is that where it came from? A king was normally the elder. You wouldn't have too many young kings, but kings were a little bit more, higher status. So the young people that were around them were the knights, the knigets. Who did a bit of weeding today, Ali Alio. Pog Mahone, yes, I know that one. They don't speak Welsh in Wrexham. Yes, they do. Every morning in our class, when I was in sort of kindergarten-y thing, Mrs. Wilson, Bore da, children, Bore da, Mrs. Wilson. Every morning, I remember that. They were teaching the kids to speak Welsh, even in Wrexham. And that was Boris Park Infant School that I went to. In Boris Park, Wrexham, funnily enough. You plant some veg, you'll finish for a year. I hate it and I love it at the same time, this time of year. It's the end of the cycle that we've just been in. We're about to go all the way through it, so there's nothing left. But then we come to spring and it all starts again. I love that birth, full life, and then just the end of it towards when you start seeing the lovely red and orange and yellowy russet coloured leaves on the floor. It's gorgeous. Even the winter, when all the leaves are gone and the snow everywhere, it looks stunning, man. Must look lovely where yous are, Louise especially as well. The snow on the hills and what have you must look amazing. And if you got bloody hell castles with snow outside them, man, we don't have that. Just too much salt, too much sand in the air, so there's no snow around. Danish has the most vowel sounds of any country. The other Nordic languages have about 17 different ones. You have about 40. What? The Irish language translated into English is backwards. It's because Dutch and German are closely related to English, but both of them have slight differences in the way you structure the language, and it can make no sense at times. Also, I've said this before and I'll say it again, Dutch, German, Spanish, French can all fuck right off. When I become the intergalactic emperor of the universe, there'll be no such thing as het and de, die, der and das, la, le, l and la. No, they're all going, it's all just going to be the. There's going to be no male or female intonation when it comes to the. It's just the. Or de, we'll even call it de. But no more of that shite. Het and de. I used to be able to speak it perfectly and now I can't. It's so fucking annoying. Oh, man. Do Do you like the tea? Of course, I love the tea. I love tea anyway. One is English after all. One loves tea. The rain stopped you. You are gutted not, Mandy. Strange you still have roses blooming. Bloody hell. Fair play to you. Jinxie, you don't have grass. The weeds do your head and they can be hard to get. That's why we have gardeners come round. They can sort that shit out. Sorry, tradesman's entrance, please. Rain saved day. Already looking forward to spring. I don't mind. I don't mind coat weather. I really don't mind coat weather. I also like the fact that it gets quite bracing without being too stupidly cold here. Going for a walk where you can feel your lungs burning because it's a little bit cold and you're putting the effort in, I think is lovely. Welsh is as well. It's English that's backward. It can't be. Can't be English that's backward. It's English. It might well be. It might well be. Roses are the same. All right. So is that because of the weather that we've had? Not overly cold and plenty of rain. Oh, hang on. Right, so what's that you said? They might not be into fighting, but watch who you drink with. Right, so here's your sign, the Black Horse. In every town, the inn or tavern has a long history, often as old as the original hamlet itself. Early history of the Black Horse Hotel at Skipton is vague, although it is reputed that this site housed the horses of Richard, Duke of Gloucester, who later became Richard III when he was Lord of the Honour of Skipton from 1476 to 1485. A mounting block and plaque can be found outside in commemoration. Another local tradition recalls how during the Civil War, when Skipton Castle was the last royalist stronghold in Yorkshire to surrender to the Roundheads, a troop of Cromwell's soldiers arrived and were served poisoned ale. The present building was erected in 1676 and was an alehouse known as the King's Head until the 1720s. So be careful who you drink with because you never know what's in it. Oh, very nice. Always a fun night out. You've got to watch your beer all the time. Jackie, you hate winter as well. You're too poor for servants. We're not rich, but there's people that earn. There's more than one person who earns in the house. You know, there's a few of us that we can afford to pay for gardeners to come out and do the jobs that my 72-year-old ill father can't do, and the unidexter that I am can't do. My ma's too old to do it as well. Otherwise, I think my dad would do a lot of the gardening himself if he could, but he can't. Not yet, anyway. He will do at some point, even though he turns 72 next week. He's 72, man. All the German cases, yeah. Used to hate having to do the German grammar cases on an early school day morning. A D, der and das, there's no need for it. Same as der and het in Dutch. And it used to be so easy to do, it became natural. It doesn't now. It just doesn't. Vahid, are you doing okay? Anything below -10 is just pointless. I only remember us having -10 to -15 once, it was pure torture. Would that have been 2008, was it, or 2009? It was horrific. -16, I think we had. That was the coldest day that particular year. And most of the years since and before then were about -3 was the coldest. Jinxie in winter, frosty flaps. Garden's tiny, it is. Well, it's not that small. The back one is an almost decent size. The front garden's small. But they do a really good job. Looks really nice, has to be said. Hell, you don't like the dark nights. You go to work in the dark and come home in the dark. Yeah, it is horrible, isn't it? Again, I don't think a lot of people around the world realise how far north we are. There's places where you don't have to be on the actual equator for this kind of thing, but there's places where it's just, well, it doesn't get dark till later on. It goes dark at 6 o'clock all the way through the year. Then you come here at 3:30 in the afternoon, it's pitch black. Or at 11:30 at night, it still looks like daylight. People just can't get used to it at all. It was -20 last December for a few days. Oh man, easterly winds, you call it the Putin winds. Helen's now talking about Steve there, the beast from the east. Very harsh to Helen, no need for that whatsoever. It was, wasn't it, the beast from the east? That was horrific, just that 1 year. And then everything's been sound afterwards. 2010 it was, wasn't it? That was it, yeah. I know Jess was only young, she was 4. No, it wasn't even 4. She hadn't turned 4 at that point. What have you missed, Kirsty? You've missed the beast from the east. You've missed snowy castles. There's got to be some dogging that you've missed. There always is. Yeah, there's at some point enough is enough. That's why spring is always nice, where we've just about had enough. If we have a couple of cold days, doesn't matter, because it's not that far away now. The warm weather's not too far. That year, 2010, was absolutely crazy. Louise, it is. When you work from home and that happens, it's even worse. That's part of the reason why I start at 11 o'clock normally and work till 7. So at least you get some kind of daylight. Then when you finish at 7, it was going to be dark anyway. No biggity. Mini moon is due on Friday. Keep an eye on the skies for that one. Should be good. I haven't looked yet whether you can you track it. Can you track it on your phone like you can with the satellites? If you can, it'd be worth keeping an eye on and see if we can get some gnarly footage of it. You wouldn't be without the bright nights in summer. That's one of the things I love the best about where we live this far north. The short days in winter don't really bother me, because I also quite like the fact that if it's cold out and dark early, you can just get warm in the house. You can sit on the sofa under a blanket and drink hot coffee or tea or whatever you want, or something like that, and just you're warm in the house. Snow outside's even better. I don't mind that, but also the long days in summer are fantastic. The Putin winds, the winds of change, man. Haven't got round to doing the fairies live yet. Have we gone from super moon to mini moon? We have. The mini moon, for those that don't know, there's an asteroid about to enter the Earth's orbit, and it's going to stay for a month or so before it's then thrown out, and it'll look like something that's orbiting us like a moon. Doesn't have to be shiny, bright and white, but you should be able to see it in the sky. It will be with us for a while, and then all of a sudden, out it goes. That's what happens when Jupiter gets involved. Jupiter's such a massive thing, its gravity pulls things out and throws it back out towards the Kuiper belt. Jupiter is our saviour. Lots of things that could come and hit the Earth and cause devastation end up getting thrown into the surface of Jupiter instead, because it's got such a massive gravitational pull. It doesn't sound right, but it is right. It sounds so wrong, yet it feels so right. It's the madness of the pause. It is always. Your sailor uncle used to say, why did we sell the then Danish West Indies to America? Sailing supplies to Greenland and the Faroes. It would have been nice to drop supplies in the tropics. Yeah, absolutely. Why keep the North? Well, Billy Connolly does a thing about it, doesn't he? The displaced Scots who were kicked out during the Highland clearances. They went to the Americas, and rather than staying in paradise, further north, they went to Canada, where it's freezing cold. They went to Australia. No, further south. Went to Dunedin in New Zealand. Well, it's now called Dunedin after Edinburgh. Just further south where it's colder. We don't like it where it's warm. Everywhere they go, it's fucking freezing. They can't go somewhere in the West Indies. It has to be somewhere freezing bastard cold. Asteroid doing a loop before it slingshots off. It does. These things happen more regularly than you would imagine as well. Jinxie loves the long summer days, plenty of light, loads more opportunities for zogging. Then we have the darkness. You will do, won't you, the darkness? They're from, is it Great Yarmouth they're from? Or is it Felixstowe? Somewhere in East Anglia, aren't they, the darkness? I believe in a thing called Love That Darkness. Cousin once angrily as a child while visiting your uncle in Sweden. At midsummer says, "Is this as dark as it gets? I'm never going to get to sleep." You get used to it though. You'd have to, wouldn't you? Just becomes part of the rhythm of life. 6 months of the year, you're going to have to sleep while it's light, and the other 6 months of the year, you're going to have to survive while it's pitch bloody black. Have you brought any nice treats for yourselves? Seeing as though you're on your baking holidays, have you bought food rather than made it for yourself? Treated yourself? You should do. The US Virgin Islands still has tons of Danish named streets. That's nice. If you lived here for 6 months and then moved to New Zealand for 6 months, would you get 12 months of long summer days? You would indeed. You would, absolutely. Lowestoft in Suffolk. Boo! Yeah, Lowestoft. I knew it was something. I knew it was one of those, there's a ferry involved somewhere. Right. Suffolk, well, yeah. Ipswich bastards. The darkness have had a resurgence after Taylor Swift did something which you don't know. Justin Hawkins has also got a really good YouTube channel which is helping him out. They stay relevant, don't they? Got some meals out. You don't do cooking on your holly bobs. I'm not surprised. You do enough during the year. Get that Steve fella to put his hand in his pocket and buy you some nice stuff. Sounds like paradise to you, does it? 12 months of long days. Some people would absolutely love that, yeah, definitely. I can see that. I can see the reason why. Like. Ipshit, as you Norfolk folk call it. Justin Hawkins rides again. It is, isn't it? Holidays aren't for cooking and for eating out. They are. You can get back to cooking when you get home. Oh, yep, sorry. Jinxie's been on the bar for ages. She has, but Piggly Ding went earlier on, but something interesting was getting talked about. So I forgot to remove you from the bar. You're on overtime there, don't worry about it. I'll weigh you in your sound. Don't worry about it. I've just had a Twitter notification from YouTube. Finish this haiku. What the hell's going on here? Ali will go again. Right? Piggly dinging again as well. I should pay more attention. When it piggly dings, let people know it's piggly dinged. You're going to book a ticket. Helen and Jinxie doing remarkable work in the field all day long. You'd be able to do loads of it. You'd be great as a farmer, wouldn't you? Just really long days. Get loads and loads of stuff in. What's the haiku? Finish this haiku. We love creators and we love community. One more line. No, it's only on Twitter, so I can get away with being as filthy as I want, but I don't think I will do. Wouldn't be nice. Esther, you saw something about the Suffolk Strangler on the Crime Channel. That's a very, very interesting story, that one. It's weird, isn't it? When you get the UK stuff on the Crime Channel is always, I don't know, it's a bit different to the US stuff that's always on there. I don't know, it's just there's something a bit more amateur about us when it comes to that kind of thing. It's always someone in a really shit car doing with a really shit, like piss poor Cluedo, isn't it? A lorry driver from Ipswich in the field with a pair of tights. Shit Cluedo. Say it again, you were typing. We love creators and we love community. Stephen Wright it was. Or his middle name would have to have been not, because he was definitely not right. I don't know what goes through people's heads. How do you get yourself to a point where you do stuff like that? I can imagine one person, if you absolutely lose your rag and do something that you would regret for the rest of your life, but going and icing loads of them, mad. You got to be insane in the membrane. So watch yourselves. You watch loads, so you could be wrong. No, it is right. Literally, right. Literally. New Zealand has a lovely climate, it seems. It's basically mainly same latitude between southern Spain and mid France. Never really about 30 C and never really super cold. It does get cold and it gets very, very rainy, and they have mountains which are evil cold. But in the same way, if you go to France, France can get a little bit nippy as well at times. Well, northern France can. The south's normally alright, isn't it? Lemonade and lime. Oh yes, lovely stuff. It is. Stephen Wright it was. I remember him. I don't know him, just I remember him. Cyprus Hill. I've been to Cyprus. The place that they're from in LA. That's where we stayed in 1988. Was it 88 or 87? 88 it was. We stayed there, it was boss. We love money more. Yeah, that would work perfectly. Don't want me to put that to them. Here's where I get binned off. I'll do that for you now. They all posted it. Here's where I'm about 20 seconds away from ad money monetization, and I'll get it taken away from me now for being naughty and mean and rude to YouTube on Twitter. Cheers, cheers. Get yourself on the outside of that lie. Jinxie, you're taken to making cold water drinks with limes in them, keep them in the fridge. Let them steep in the water. Very good. Throw a bit of cucumber in there as well, some goodness in that. What did you miss about Twitter? Oh, YouTube just tweeted, finish this haiku, which as soon as I seen YouTube and haiku, I thought, is Horace involved in this? Their haiku was, we love creators and we love community. And you had to finish the last line. So Mandy has posited, we love money more. I'll let you know how that does. Whether it gets any likes, retweets, views, etc. Put your name on it so you don't lose 4K I'll be alright. That close, by the way. That close. And here's the annoying part. You're not going to believe this. 3,992, right? 3,992. 8 away. 8 away. And tomorrow will drop 6.4. That's if every single watch hour from tomorrow is counted. That'll be 6.4. If they round it up, that'll take it to 7. That will leave me on 3,999. I think I'd cry if I saw that. There's going to be some taken off because there'll be shorts views in there and probably some views from last year as well, but 8 away. The day after, of course, Sunday's live drops, so that should take us way above. Should. That was 34 hours, that one, so that should take us way above what's needed. Even with losses, that should take us above. So hopefully, gingers crossed by Freitag. Yeah, Friday morning, 9 o'clock. It should be over the 4,000, and if it is, I might jump on Friday and have a little celebration with all you wonderful people who've got me all these watch hours. Because that'd be cool, man. Oh, where are we? Where are we? Ooh. Man United 1, FC 20 1. Seb Lammers equalised. Lovely jubilee. Lovely. I'll settle for that. I will settle for that. It's not a bad result. Not a bad result at all. Shorts didn't count. No, they don't, which means that they will come off the overall. Oh, there we go.
It's going up, it's going up,
Helen?
it's going up, it's going up, it's going up, it's there.
What do I have on my t-shirt? This is the... That's the Horace Sugar Skull from the merch site. Horace Sugar Skull, which come out really well. It looks... The colours look fantastic. It's a really good t-shirt, and it's in petrol green. See, petrol green. Pop a cannon. Do a what? Pop a cannon. New Zealand's climate is complex and varies from warm subtropical in the far north to cool temperate climates in the far south, with several alpine conditions in the mountainous areas, according to Google. It does. The fellow with no legs, the mountain climber, I can't think of his name now. He was from South Africa. He was from New Zealand, and he lost his part of his legs being on one of the mountains in the southern part of New Zealand, and he was one of the ones that climbed Mount Everest and walked past David Sharp, the English or British mountaineer, who was... His life was being dribbled out of him as he lay there or sat in Green Boots Cave. They all walked past him, and the New Zealand lad got absolutely slammed everywhere, despite the fact that he got 2 false legs. How was he supposed to save someone that was just that far away from expiring? How was he supposed to get him down the bloody mountain? Stupid. Confetti cannon, possibly. Possibly, who knows? Glitter bomb, whoop whoop, plenty of whoop whoop. Petrol black and some petrol green. There's a bit of petrol red, petrol orange, and a bit of petrol white there as well. Jinxie, you've got it in white. Isn't the design really good? I like it. It pops. I think it's a really good design. It's AI, but it was the idea that I had, and it come out better than I could ever have imagined. But I think it's fantastic. You know, seeing What We Do in the Shadows. I've not seen the Matt Berry TV series. I've seen the film. Taika Waititi, the original one, and Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords is in it as well. But I've not seen the show, even though it's on Babe. We call the fella Del Boy over here. It's hugely popular, isn't it? That particular show. The Americans love it. The Concord guys, yep. Where's the new feature? We haven't spoke about anything yet, have we? What have we spoke about? Oh, we spoke about a bit of knitting, haven't we? So, could have put the knitting up, I suppose. I mentioned FC20, so the football could have gone up. That's about it, really. Barnsey, how you doing? It's coming up. It's coming up. It's there. We've had one. Yeah, but this is available, by the way, if anyone's watching this on the on demand. The VOD, video on demand. These are available in the merch story thing. Must be other stuff. No, these things aren't working. Footy talk at the start, right? Well, we've had footy. There you go. But it's there. It's there. But I do like them. I need to put the sunset one. I think is my favourite, to be honest. I'll find that now. It's my favourite one. I think that's the best one. That's the sunset, obviously. Yellow when it's at its highest, then it goes to orange, then it goes to red when it's about to drop below the horizon. I like that as a logo. I like it. I like it a lot. Footy icon needed. It's there. The bear's paws with the footy claws. Tom to tom tom tom. He'll be around and about somewhere. George Michael there. Got to have fight there. I think it looks quite good. All designed by yours truly, of course. I think it looks quite modern. Might look okay on a hoodie, I think, that one. A dogging hoodie. Sunset dogging hoodie. I'll need one with a mini moon on it. I'll have to have a look what that looks like. But yeah, we could do that. Could do one with it, yeah. Could have an actual moon and then a mini moon next to it, sailing round. Could work. Could have a few paws and then each one of the planets as well. Could have that. But I like it. Come out really well, I thought. And that's going to be in the corner, I think, when I'm doing live sunset streams. Just out the way, so it's not like this is with the full bear's paws and the wood everywhere. Just a little bit in the corner to let you know what it is. A slingshot as well. Oh, definitely. There was something in the air that night. The stars were bright. Fernando. I think we should definitely get together a band that does ABBA songs in the style of a reggae toaster and call it like ABBA Ranks. I'd do that one. We should give the series a go. It's 10 times better than the movie. Well, anything that's got Matt Berry in there has got to be worth watching. The epic Matt Berry. Brilliant in Toast of London as well, by the way. I will give that a go. It's on the iPlayer, so it should be sound like. It's on the list, we're having it. Aberanks, it's Esther, it'll work, I'm telling you. It will work. And I think we also need a Deacon Blue tribute act from North Wales called Real Gone Kid. these things right themselves. There's money to be made out there. Keep chatting, folks. You know what happens? What the points make? Potatoes. You've met Deacon Blue, the ultimate Scouse wedding band, Deacon Blue. Every single Scouse wedding has got Deacon Blue playing. In fact, there's quite a few Scouse boxers walked out to Deacon Blue. It's bizarre. How did you meet them? How, where, why, what? Come on, spill, Helen, spill. Let us know. How did this work? Louise, you haven't levelled up for months, and yet you have been chatting as well, haven't you? Loyalty, 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 loyalty. Come on. Where are you? Should have done. You definitely should have done. You've got loads of points. Level 14, does that sound about right, Louise? Level 14. Shit, I can't remember. Loads of levels, man. Loads of levels. They were staying in a hotel that you were working at before they got really famous. Oh, right. Oh, that's nice. They seem a good bunch of chaps and chapesses. Matt Berry is amazing. He's just a horny vampire. Everything he's in it is horny, and his pronunciations in everything he does are bizarre. If you like him in that, definitely watch Toast to London. Natasha, Dmitrio, Kavan, Novak. Yeah. That's a proper cast, isn't it? So that was You To Me Had Everything. That's the real thing, wasn't it? They were playing the University of East Anglia. Oh, very nice. Same old level. How was that not? You have chatted. It's not like you just sat there saying nothing. You'd always chat. We need to have a steward's inquiry about that one, Louise. We do. I'll have a word with Jeff. The UAE, yeah. UEA, rather, not UAE. That's United Arab Emirates. Two different things altogether, really, isn't it? Mandy, you were at a party once at a mixing desk maker's Christmas do. Of course you were. Of course you were. A mixing desk maker's Christmas do. Saw a familiar face, but couldn't place it until his video came on. Singer from Matt Bianco. Would that be Matt Bianco by any chance? Or is that not his name? He was just in a band called Matt Bianco. Get up, get out of your lazy bed. Or I count to 3, step 2. Yeah, I know Matt Bianco. That's a good tune, that, by the way. I used to have that as my alarm to wake me up in the morning, because it's quite chill to get you into the day. And then changed it for Wake Up Boo by the Boo Radleys, but that was just too full on. And now I've got the opening theme to Grand Theft Auto 3. Nice jazzy start to the day. Not that I ever hear my alarm, because I'm always awake before it, because I'm an old man and I need to pish. Did you have any hits at that point, or were they just doing the shows before they started? They've all got to start off, haven't they? And then all of a sudden they hit. They're about a month away from releasing the first single, so they can't have been too far away from having some decent success, major success even. Nice to see them at the start. Well, nice to meet them at the start even. Well, you're having a good karaoke anyway, aren't you? I will have to fix that though, because that's pissing me right off. It has nothing to do with me. It's them lot. And that's why I need that to fix it, which means I need to fix that so I can connect to the internet. Pain in the arse, isn't it? You like Matt Bianco more than I Can Bear was your favourite? I only know one song by them. I think most people in the UK will only know one song. I suppose even one-hit wonders must have an album behind them. Most of them, anyway. I seem to remember, was it Matt Bianco, the lead singer, that was he on Saturday morning kids TV, and there was a phone in, and there was quite a bit of filthy language. Let's say, I asked the lead singer, Matt Bianco, why are you such a wanker? Sure, it was that, wasn't it? Was him, wasn't it? Amanda, your second fiancée worked with Claire and Lisa from Steps. They nicked your ABBA medley. Bastards. Don't forget, folks, fiancé is only one letter away from finance. Just saying. More famous over there, they probably were. Because nobody in the UK would give them the time of day. Just that one song. Play Get Out of Your Lazy Bed. Right, yeah, go on, done it. Piss off. Get someone decent on. How many fiancés have you had, Mandy? If that was number 2, how many are there? Come on, let us know. How many toasters have you got? Mandy, 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 Mandy. How many? Come on. More than 2. Gonna get all Bruce Forsyth here, aren't I? More than 2. Hiding 5, hiding 5. Go on. I thought the quote was, why are you so shite? Must be 4. 4 fiancés. Wow. Mandy's got more rings than Sonic the Hedgehog. Twist or stick. Was it Here They Come, they're so appealing, come on dollies, do your dealing? Was that it? Was that how it went? Higher than a 4, 5, 5, 5. Good game, good game. Brucey, man, Brucey. The Ledge. You're the runaway fiancé. This all is try before you buy. And then thought, nah. No, not working. Ta-ra. Next. Did you piggly ding them? Is that what it is? Piggly ding. I'm keeping your ring. Next. I might have to make that, you know. For the next time you go on the bar, when I press piggly ding, it will say piggly ding, I'm keeping your ring. Next. Sing a song for the broken hearted. All I can hear in my head now, because I've been listening to Bono's autobiography, is this song is not a rebel song. From Red Rocks, Under a Blood Red Sky, man. This song is not a rebel song. This song is Sunday, Bloody Sunday. Followed by do-do-do-do. Kirsty, you did bugger off for a bit. You were on phone. Nobody's. Behind you got arthritis in your thumbs. What? The weather must affect it. Arthritis, every time there's any kind of cold or damp, or cold and damp. Horrific. And all you need is someone to say, how are you feeling? Yeah or no? No, get away. I've got goo left. I've just remembered I've got goo left. Gloria from that album. The first 3 albums, I was talking about this the other day on that there Twitter there. U2 get a really bad reputation, and quite rightly so sometimes, because Bono thinks he's the second coming of God. And he's not. Or second coming of Christ even. But the first 3 albums, first 4 albums actually are brilliant, but the first 3 especially was superb. Boy, October and War. And yet, no one will do them the honour of going back and listening to the first 3 albums. I've played songs for people. Bloody hell, that's superb. Who's that? It's U2. What? U2? Yeah, the shit U2. That's the great U2. Or the earliest I remember was Pride. Well, Pride was decent as well, but they had loads of stuff before that. The Unforgettable Fire's a good album, but Boy, October and War, 3 very good albums. Yeah, Glory is a boss tune. What was I listening to? I Threw a Brick Through a Window, I absolutely love. Again, starting with the snare drums. Get in there, lid. Your third finger on one knee, you feel it when the weather is cold and damp. My third finger, that was the one I don't know if you can see it. It's not the same level as the other ones. The ball hit it at the end and pushed it in this way. Damaged I think it fractured the bonage and fractured the cartilage. So that's the same one. And what else did I do? I've heard something else as well, which also hurts during the coldy weather. Oh, I fractured my wrist as well, right near the elbow. And that, when it's cold and damp, I get real throbby vibes in that one. Man, you are Ghoulless. Ghoulless in Seattle. Not good. Not good even. There was very little left in our Tesco the other day. I managed to get hold of Honeycomb Zillionaire, which was really nice. I've got one of them left, I think. And I might have the Ganache ones. You looked at the goo choices, there was none that you fancied. Bang out of Oda, Bang out of Oda. Unforgettable Fire, it's a good album. That song is great as well. But people just will not go back and listen. I did also say, go back and listen to every one of their albums in order and stop when you no longer like them. And I thought you'd probably get a lot further than you realise before you stopped liking the music. Because it's not just the first 4 albums that are good. There's plenty of good stuff in there. Just unfortunate that Bono thinks he is the second coming. Does. That hurts. My knee hurts all the time anyway. Everything hurts. That's what happens when you get old. What flavours do you like? Oh, there we go. What flavour? Go on. What's everyone's favourite flavour of goo? I'm going to check for a goo. The fracture, oh Christ, I can't even do it, was about there. And it was all playing 5-a-side again. I fell forward, put my arms out to stop myself, and I didn't think I'd hurt myself. But it was bloody sore. I went home and tried to wash my hair in the shower, and when I got to about that, I was almost screaming. Oh, what's that pain? So I went and got it checked out. Right by the elbow. Very, very painful. And I was stuck like that for 4 weeks. And it still hasn't straightened out completely. There's a kink in it. Same as my finger. If I break anything else, I'm going to start going round in circles, aren't I? There's 42 flavours of goo. But a bitch ain't one. Is that song? You've got a Danone Choc Mousse, Louise. Didn't realise it's a 200 gram pot. Bossed it though. Oh. Was it silky? Was the chocolate silky chocolate mousse? Danone. Just Google how many flavours. That means now I am going to have to tick off every single flavour of goo. And I have to start from scratch. I can't even me what I've got in the fridge now. I have to write down every single flavour, laminate it, and then whiteboard it. You like the Spanish lemon, the ganache, and the hot, cold brownie ones. Ooh. Yeah, your favourite goo, as long as it doesn't smell like Gwyneth Paltrow's Twinkle Cave. Yeah, don't think I'll be happy with that either. Never tried goo, Kirsty, never tried goo. There's a live stream for you. Try goo live on stream. Ali hasn't either. Man. Danone makes mousse. You have to hunt it down, you will. They make some good stuff, don't they? Danone. At least it's not just you. There's a tribe of you. Ghoulish tribe. And you can't eat a lot of chocolates, and you know there are non-chocolate flavours, but none available at the time. Oh, there's plenty of non-chocolate ones. The Spanish lemon, the New York cheesecake one's quite nice as well. More a savoury person. There should be savoury goo. What is goo? It's an upmarket pudding, a dessert, and it comes in little glass ramekins, which are really handy for putting things in. Very, very nice. Never tried it. You've got to try it, man. I've managed Joe Nuts. Everyone else has got to try goo. There we go. Added protein. It was quite dense. I need more protein shakes, actually. I should have been drinking a lot of shakes. Protein yogurts, rather. Got the answer from the goo website. Did you go straight to the horse's mouth? Used to have those coloured yogurts from Danone as a child. Never tried goo. Bloody expensive and just a few choices. There's 42 choices, so there is over here anyway. They are expensive, but sometimes you need to treat yourself. You need more protein in your diet as well. You do. Everyone does. I used to make sure that when I was playing five-a-side football, I would drink a chocolate milk within half an hour of finishing the game, because that's when you need it the most. The protein within chocolate milk would help start knitting the fibres back together. The pinged muscle fibres that you break when you exercise. Doesn't have to be proper protein shake, just chocolate milk will do it. True story, man. Ali, put a reminder in your phone to check Tesco next time you're in there. Do it. Do it now. Singing the whole of John Bon Jovi's greatest hits. I still think my short should have been used as well. At some point, there should be a massive sign on one of the motorways in the UK with, whoa, we're halfway there, whoa, oh, Weston-super-Mare, and then how many miles it is to Weston-super-Mare. Because when you reach there, it's got to be at least half from where you came from for someone. I think it'd work well. The ramekins are the same price, so technically the contents are free. If you look at it like that, goos are not expensive. True story. I'm with you on that one, Mandy, 100%. I was buying the ramekins anyway, I've just got the goo free. You see him on the news the other week, is that when he was helping someone from harming themselves? I don't like him, I don't like Bon Jovi's music, but apparently from what I've heard, he's a pretty decent lad, isn't he? He's an ethically decent man who tries to help people out as often as possible, from what I've heard. Which obviously means he's going to get done for something next week, isn't he? Like Dave Pissing Grohl. But if you can be a rock star, multi-millionaire, and still do good and be decent to people, why not? If you're helping someone, you don't think people should broadcast it. Maybe yeah and no. I don't know, yeah. It's just a nice little thing sometimes when the world is so horrific to see something positive happening. Possibly. I don't know. You love the Issy Skier yogurt, but you can only get them from Waitrose. No. Can't be doing that. Bloody Waitrose. My mate works in a Waitrose. He's the manager of the Greens, I think it's Greenery Aisle, Green Grocery Aisle, or whatever it is. Yes, there's a Marks and Spencer's food hall and a Waitrose in Formby because they wouldn't dare shop anywhere else. Met Richie Sambora once, he was nice. Good guitarist. Too much hair, all of them too much bloody hair. Skier is nice, it is good stuff. Good source of protein as well. Get in your local corner shop. That's London now with those fancy London ways, isn't it? Can't complain if you're getting goo for free. There you go. That's the next merch. Next merch t-shirt. Can't complain if you're getting goo for free. The ramekins you're paying for, the goo you're getting for free. Don't moan about it. That's the kind of value that we can all deal with. Yep, in the big smoke. We can't live at their speeds, can we? Us yokels out in the sticks in like the Liverpool and wherever. Seen them in Asda as well. Get in there. Get amongst them. Got to have them somewhere. Fun fact, skier is an Icelandic invention. And wow, did it get popular like 10 years ago? No one ever heard of it, and then all of a sudden, he's the Prime Minister. Skier Starmer. Bizarre. I do it for the right reason, not for people to say, oh, look what so-and-so did. He had no idea there was cameras on him. He was just helping someone. The fact that someone then either sold it or give it to a news company is just neither here nor there, innit? Money for nothing and you goof for free. Yeah. Is right. Is right, lid. Who is the most famous people you folks have ever met? Ooh, go on. Who are we thinking? Corner shop, brimful of Asher on the 45. My mate Sharon from work calls me brimful of Ashy on the 45 and occasionally sings it to me. She's fucking weird. Boss though, I like Sharon. Good Evertonian la. Most famous folks we've met. Met the Backstreet Boys, they were nice. Recognised them but couldn't place them until he showed up on This Morning. That was when they got back together. Oh, I know him. They were getting Dominoes. Not got an Asda nearby, it's 22 miles away. Waitrose is only 5 miles. Yeah, not everybody has got 600 bloody supermarkets within walking distance like we have here. Skier Starmer, a byproduct from the dairy industry. He looks like he could be, definitely. So we've got then Backstreet Boys, who else? I'd probably have to go for either Johan Cruyff or George Best, I would think. John McNally from The Searchers. They were on TV earlier on one of the channels doing the hits of the 60s. Him as well, possibly. Met Mick Flynn. End up having a drink in the living room with your mum and a mate. He's a cousin. Alright. Mick Hucknall, Simply Red, was staying in a hotel we used to work. Lovely chap, that was donkeys years ago. Oh, to a friend, not to your mum. That makes more sense, doesn't it? Yeah, that does make more sense. I met loads of footballers because of my dad. So it depends on who you know best, I suppose, doesn't it? Ruud Gullit, Marco van Basten, Frank Rijkaard, Erwin Koeman, and of course Ronald fucking Koeman. Dad's Army when you're about 3, apparently. Can't remember it, but yeah, you've got their autographs. That's proper. That's a proper cast as well, that Dad's Army. Proper. I hate Mick Hucknall. No, well, yeah and no. Can't take him serious. Plus he's a bell, isn't he? Absolute bell. Fergal Sharkey. Fergal Clean Water Sharkey. Had dinner with him and his crew backstage before a gig. What a man, Fergal Sharkey. There was a great documentary on the Undertones, which he never took part in, on the BBC. He didn't want to be involved in it, which was a shame, because it was a really good documentary. And all the other lads from the Undertones just looked like they were having the best time ever. This was years later, decades later, and they were still, just seemed like a bunch of kids having a laugh. I love the Undertones. And now he's trying to fix the water. What more can you ask? From my perfect cousin to my shitty river. Irene from Home and Away stayed there too. I did remember meeting from Prisoner Cell Block H. There was B, Vinegar Tits, and what was the blonde? The blonde Screw, who was in it as well. They were doing a prisoner stage show at the Royal Court in Liverpool, and them three wandered past and were talking to everyone that was in the queue to go in and watch a band that night, and I can't remember who it was. Yeah, but B, the top dog from Prisoner and Vinegar Tits, who was actually a pretty attractive woman as well. She played an absolutely horrible bastard in that show. Hair all scraped back and probably no makeup on her now, but she was quite an attractive lady and looked a big smile on her face. It's as if, I don't know, she was an actress. But it was mad. We're all waiting to watch a band, and then, oh look, there's Vinegar Tits off Prisoner. Crazy. Crazy. Can't compete with George Best, but Noel Gallagher, before he was famous. I met George Best after he was famous. He was slightly drunk as well, believe it or not. One of the guys from 2 Packets of Crisps, 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps, waiting at the ATM. Nice dude as well, a bit tipsy but lovely. So it was either Ralph Little or Will, whatchamacallit. Yeah, 2 lagers. Which is a song, by the way, 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps, by a punkish band called Splodginess Abounds. And I'm surprised they never used that song as the theme tune. It would have made far more sense. Yep, you've met me, so there you go. Tick that off the box. Met the famous YouTuber. Fucking hell, mad, isn't it? Never really met any famous people. You met John Fax Jensen and the bald guy from Aqua. In a club once and I ended up drinking with a guy from Paradise Hotel. Thought you spelt it wrong. You should have said that. A good heart these days is hard to find. I had a real go at Fergal Sharkey over that, because I loved the Undertones, and all of a sudden he's singing love songs and he's had his hair washed. For fuck's sake, come on. Sort yourself out, Fergal. And he has now. He's back to looking like a proper Northern Ireland lad. Good lad. Clive Owen and David Thewlis and Diana Quick, bloody hell. That's a hefty combination, that one, isn't it? David Thewlis is a fantastic actor. Clive Owen, Diana Quick as well. He's been in loads of stuff. Wasn't she pushed into a canal, Diana Quick? Maybe copyright, that's why. Oh, right. Clive Owen. I was expecting that from, I don't know who I was expecting it from, but at least one of you. Yes, he was quite popular, wasn't he, Clive? Young Clive. You watched Fergal sing that twice at the sound check, then he jumped off stage and came and introduced himself. Like you didn't know who he was. But even if people know who you are, you don't assume, do you? You go and shake hands. Had his hair washed. I put a full head of Timothy hair on him. Giving it all that. Fucking hell, Fergal. Where's your parka? Where's your fucking your proper shitty coat? Come on. Get back to where it came from, man. You went to school with someone who's now appearing in some TV ads and a TV show. Ooh. Oh, it was before he got his teeth fixed. So that was pre-gushing days. Fergal bloody hair flip, yeah. I went a little bit shitty on him, didn't I? Watching reruns of Top of the Pops. I loved you, man, and you got undone this with your stupid fucking haircut. Doing your hair flip. And then it turns out he's a lovely fella and he's trying to save the environment, so. Fergal, if you're watching, I apologise, mate. A good heart these days is hard to find. You certainly got one. A clean river these days is hard to find. Tomash, good evening from a wet Worcestershire. Don't think you're seeing any cricket anytime soon. I would have thought not. Especially not at 11 o'clock at night. We're all doing well, we are. We've decided that goo is free. You're buying the ramekins, you're getting the goo for free. How can it be overpriced if you're getting it for free? A friend of yours met up with a group of friends and thought one of them looked familiar. It's only Marty Pello. Don't trust anybody who smiles that much. Him, Anthea Turner, they're hiding something. You can't smile that amount of times in a day. It's just not right. With him, obviously, he was hiding packets of brown stuff in his keks. Naughty boy. He's talented too. He can play loads of instruments. Fergal. Shergal Farky. How's Mrs. Tom and Domingo Suarte? You're in Sauce County, he is. So see James Blunt coming round there giving it lobsters. That's Worcester sauce to anybody's reading the chat. Not Worcestershire. Worcester. Worcester sauce, lad. You did go to primary and secondary school with Jamie Waylett, who appeared in the Harry Potter films, till he got put behind the bars for drugs and something else. He was a dickhead, he was. I am 8 hours from 4K, which is the B-side, the Gene Pitney B-side. He was only 8 hours away from 4K. He didn't go out of it, no. We're close. Tomorrow there could be an opportunity of getting 7 hours added to the total, which means, in theory, I could be at 3999. Which would make me want having to wait an extra 24 hours at that point would make me want to piss thistles. You see, it's not the principle, it's the money. Mrs. Tom and Domingo, a fair few miles away. Ah. Gone, but always in your heart. And probably in your headphones as well, knowing cats. Leaving you a little present next time you put on a tune, like, what the fuck was that? Don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the moonlight. Don't blame it on the good times. Blame it on kabaddi. 8 hours until confetti cannon. Could be. It could be. We could be having a ball. We could be having a confetti cannon and ball. Yeah, Steve was asleep on the sofa and is giving it large. We did have a video earlier on, and when he heard his theme tune, apparently his back leg started going like he was chasing rabbits in North Wales. That's what Helen said. Not making this up at all. You are in Source County. It's nice but wet. All sauces are wet. That's what makes them sauces. He does work bloody hard. Worked even harder today, wandering around filming on the beach. Bumped into him sometime last year, and he's even more of a dickhead. Some people just fall off the cliff, don't they? And then they can't get back to being normal, just acting like absolute knobs. And they've officially stopped binge watching. You can now watch things you actually like. Good. Much appreciated, by the way. You met Fred Dibner when you were a kid. True legend. He is. There must be something about the name Fred as well, because not only is Dibner the man, the myth, the legend, so is Freddie Flintoff, even though that's not his actual name. There's something about northern blokes just being down to earth, normal fellas, but having an effect on people's lives. Top man, Fred. I can't watch too much of his stuff though, because I'm shit scared of heights. And I watched that one where he was it on top of was it a clock or something, where he had to walk on the outside of it, and it was literally backwards hanging off it, walking. Oh, no. I could feel my stomach doing that. I thought I'm going to shit myself any second here watching him. Top man. We need more people like that, more Dibners, definitely. Guy Martin's another one. More people like that. Relatable folk. Not full of an ego. Just letting you know what they do. Letting you into their world slightly. That's what we need. More of that. More of that. You can catch up on all the stuff that you've missed. Your watch later playlist must be the same as mine. Absolutely astronomical. We sat on a tree and filming. Oh man, boss in it. You reckon 99% of former schoolmates are knobs. I was lucky. I was in a decent gang. Wasn't a gang, you know what I mean? But there was a good group of us that were real good mates that have been mates ever since. When other people were doing horrific things, we were all just playing music. It's great. So I think I touched Lucky there. Nice lad, Lucky. Yeah, not many of them in the world these days. Which is why you need to appreciate the ones that are when you see them. Make the most of them. You started watching Ludwig, the streamer, or have you suddenly gone into Beethoven or Bach? Freddie Flintoff made you cry in his new series. Isn't he a lovely fella? Trying to do something nice for people. Actually, the leverage that he's got because of his fame and because of what he did in the sport. Trying to help people out. Just a real down-to-earth lad. We need more of him on the telly as well. It's a shame that what happened with Top Gear, because I know a lot of car guys didn't like it, but anything with him in it I thought was fantastic. More Freddie on the box. Don't be fooled by the rocks that he's got. He's still Freddie on the box. What made Britain great? It did. People like Fred Dibner made, like him. People like him made the UK an amazing place, and not just because of what he did. Telling you the stories about what he did as well. Everybody, and I mean everybody of sort of my era, my generation, went to the pub with the granddad or your dad and met the Al fellas and just sat there all afternoon listening to them telling stories. I was blown away by the lives that they led and the advice that they used to give you. I think modern day kids are going to miss out on that because none of us have lived the kind of life that they did, which is a shame. Kyle Hogg was a fantastic player, wasn't he, when he played for Lanky? David Mitchell's new detective drama. Local cricket writer has Adnan in his team of the year. Ooh, go on, lad. Kyle was the other adult he was, yeah. Kyle Hogg. He was the one. His dad was a cricketer. His granddad was also a cricketer, West Indian. Must have married a local lass, and that's how he's ended up being, being a very, very tall white gentleman with a West Indian grandfather. So he's got cricket in his bones. Great player as well, Kyle Hogg. Back when we had a proper team, back in days. The old boys knew. They did, Barnes, I tell you, they did. Some of the funniest days I've ever had in my life have been spent in the VMH, the Victoria Memorial Hall in Garston, with incredible storytellers who could keep you going on one story for 2 hours, and at the end of it you'd be pissing yourself weak. Or they could tell you things about what they've done in their lives, and again, not necessarily laughing, but be absolutely hanging on every word they say. It's amazing. I think it's that generation, possibly the one just before me dad, my granddad and his mates. They were the last true generation that could tell you things that we'd never see. Oh yeah, sorry. Cricket logo. Oh, lanky. Getting relegated, sadly. We are a little bit yo-yo-y, aren't we? Bloody Lancashire. They were playing, no, it wasn't Lancashire, they were playing cricket the other day. It was probably about 2 weeks ago, at Trafalgar Road, where you were watching Lanky not too long ago. As I drove past, I thought I could hear the thwack of leather on willow, but it wasn't. I was listening to the Cocteau Twins in the car dead loud. But he was playing there. We need to get the gang back together. I'm sure Wazam Akram can still play. Yeah, there you go. He did. We had Wazam Akram. Fantastic player. One of the best in-swinging Yorkers I've ever seen in my life. Try and break the toes, the big toe going. Him and Waka Yunus were amazing together for Pakistan. Yeah, Kyle was interesting to watch. He was stuck between Fred and the boys, but seemed a lovely guy. Yeah, that's exactly what he was. I think it was the sort of the barrier between the two. He was on both sides at the same time. Probably stopping the lads from getting into trouble, but also making sure that he dragged them along and did what Freddie wanted. Comes across as a really decent fella. More of that. Legend of Lancashire, that was Bumble. Yeah. Start the car. Big Accrington Stanley fan. Accrington Stanley. Who are they? Exactly. Come on, Lanky. Sort it out. Oh, we've got loads of them. No, Wazim was fantastic. And before him we had Farouk Engineer. Back way back in the day. Owner of one of the best names I've ever heard in my life. Farouk Engineer. What a proper name that is. We need more of them. You know less about cricket than you do about football. Stop fucking moaning about football then, Mandy. There's levels to this. There you go. FC20 drew at Man United tonight. Good point. I'll take that. Is that better? Hang on. Put them both up. Love cricket. I love cricket as well. It's an English game, man. An English summer game. Mind you, yeah, it's an English summer game, so we're getting to that point now, aren't we, where football takes over. Muscly men in tight shorts. sliding into each other. You know even less, Al, you know even less. It's like hurling, but you stand still a lot more. It's the greatest sport in the world. It is an amazing sport that people don't even try. How can you play for 5 days and then not have a result? You do. It's a draw. But like all football fans know, a point, a draw can be an amazing thing. If you've gone away to a top 2 side and get a draw, it's been amazing. The same with a game of cricket. If you've lasted for a couple of days with your tail enders, like the Burnley wall, and you manage to get a draw out of it and win a series, genius. And to tie all your stories tonight, another old boy, Freddie legend, Fred Truman. Guess where his statue is? Is it in Skipton by any chance? Proper fast bowler, proper Yorkshireman. Rugby has the legs and the tight shorts. Purely rugby league up here for me. Can't be done with rugby union. Those are the people that use the word lunch when they mean dinner. You can't knit a cricket. You could knit a cricket ball, couldn't you, Mandy? I think you could. Be a straightforward one. Like a red ball, but it's got a seam that goes around it. I reckon you could do that. Quite awkward for Ten Hag. Since he was with FC20, he was for quite a while. No, it's not just a red ball. It's look. It's got a stitching round it, which is a proud seam, which is what the cricketers, the bowlers, try and bounce it off. So glad that Ruud is back. Ruudje. Ruud dog. Rudy. No. Plenty of Ruuds. Dutch Ruuds. Good footballing Ruuds. Gullit, of course. Van Nistelrooy. Krol. Fantastic player. My dad played against him and all. Met him on Johnny Rep. Piet Schrijvers, the goalkeeper. Ajax legend and Dutch legend. All those World Cup players were fantastic. Gullit, Ruudje, it'll be Van Nistelrooy, won't it? He's back in the UK. He's a coach at Man United now. What a player Ruud van Nistelrooy was. What a striker. Wasn't even a striker to begin with, was he? Wasn't he a midfielder or winger or something? And someone just went, he's not bad at putting the ball in the back of the net. Just play him up front. And next thing you know, he'd scored 6 million goals in 1 week. Making ads for Skechers slip-ins now. I can't buy them. I've got a set of Skechers, but I can't wear them now because of Jamie fucking Redknapp. Bellend. That was the route you were referring to. I know these things. Yeah, have a good night, Jackie. No, good morning. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning. It's not like knitting a spud. See, that would make no sense in any other stream apart from this one. It's not like knitting a spud. But you could easily make one. And it's just a red ball. You just need to put a proper seam on the outside of it. It'll look great. Look great. I was going to say, what day is it? It's Wednesday, obviously, isn't it? I'm losing the place. It would be if you knitted it. It'd start off as a cricket ball, end up as a red potato. Looks like your hair in the morning. It's got proper character, that, isn't it? Jinxie said it looks like hair as well. Spud Stewart. I can't say anything. I look like that all the time at the moment. I still haven't got round to shaving my head. Got to come off. And ASAP, because I can't keep on looking like this. I look a right 2 and 8, I do. All day, Ali, all day. Ruby and Steve fast asleep on the sofa. All tuckered out. That's not LCC regulation. Definitely not. That's a good sign, that, though. When you've been out and you're absolutely fast asleep because you've had a proper day out in real proper fresh air as well. There's something different about the coast. You can work all day, you can walk all day, you can play footy all day. You go for a walk on the beach by the seaside, you'll be absolutely exhausted afterwards. Combination of the sand beneath your feet and the air just takes it out of you. Good morning to Jackie, Steve and Ruby. Jackie Ruby. Shot Lee Harvey Oswald, didn't he? Esther, you're off, no worries. Till the next time. TTFN, as they say in Japan. Yeah, it's after 11 o'clock, isn't it? I need to go and have something to eat. I need to go and have a goo. I need goo. We need goo, man. Ronald Goo, man. Go bring me my goo. Other stuff. Right, the jukebox is not working. I will sort that out ASAP. Well, tomorrow. Or the day after, I don't know. Yeah, but it's that time of night, isn't it? I think. It's time to get your dancing shoes on. What do we reckon? Is it dancing shoes time? I think it is. Yeah, dancing shoes. Vámonos, muchachos.
Another great night here at the Paris Pause. Folks, go give yourself a round of applause. We've had a good chat, told the odd joke. Now get in our hot tub for a post-stream soak.
And that's that.